All right, all right. Good morning, everybody. This Big Dog Sports. This your boy BD. How's everybody doing? We in the building. Skywalker was good, bro. You guys had me tripping last night, bro. Y'all had a really good show last night. So what's going on with you? Yeah, we chilling. I know it's kind of early, but like I was telling you last night, over the weekend, start my GOAT series. I think that's going to be pretty good. Create a lot of war. Oh, okay, that's what's up. Also, what do you do for work, Skywalker? What do you do? Not to be nosy or anything, I'm just asking. Because today, this morning, I'm just freestyling this morning. So we could talk about whatever. Yeah, we could talk about whatever. Um, it's been a very busy news day, that's for sure. Especially with all this Epstein file stuff. I don't know how that stuff gonna turn out, but there's definitely something there. And you know what they say, when there's smoke, there's fire. So we gonna see how that all plays out. Okay, I dig it. Building stuff. That's what's up. Yeah, I'm make some more mods in a minute. Hard for me to do it on the phone though. I gotta get on my laptop. Yeah, we gonna start doing some things. We definitely gonna start doing some things. Um, yeah, I've been trying to get my research game up. So when I start my GOAT series, I can have all my stats and all that stuff already ready. Because I know that's going to be a big thing, especially when it comes to the basketball GOAT. It's going to be a lot of, it's Jordan. No, it's LeBron. Yeah, I can't wait for that. That's going to be fun. Yeah, that's definitely going to be fun. But again, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's a beautiful day. Beautiful Thursday morning. So we got a lot to talk about in the sports world and the political world. But this is just a freestyle. I don't really particularly have a topic today. I'm just freestyling today. Oh yeah, but we're not gonna get into that today. We're not gonna get into that today. We're gonna save all that for the weekend. That's why when I start my GOAT series, I want to do it, over the weekend so I could be on my computer. So this way I could pull stats up and all that other stuff. And no, they're not the greatest team ever. Y'all haven't won a Super Bowl since 1994, man. It's time for Jerry Jones to retire. He need to give it up. Yeah. They America's team though. I will say that. People who don't even watch football know who the Cowboys are. So for the Cowboys, you damn right. You damn right. I am a hater with a capital H when it comes to the Cowboys. You damn right. Fuck them. Where I'm from, we call them the cowgirls. They not even boys, they girls. But I will say this though, they do have one of the best defensive players in all of football. Micah Parsons is that guy. I will give them that. Yeah, Micah Parsons, he get right. But Dak is a bum. And I don't see no future in Dallas with Dak as your quarterback. Yes, Moxie, that part. Let's go Giants. That part. Even though, we as a team, we're not very good, but at least we got a real quarterback this year with Russell Wilson. So we should be a lot better than we was the past couple of years. Daniel Jones had that one good year. They got to the playoffs. They beat Minnesota in the first round and then got smacked by Philly, but at least they had got to the playoffs. But yeah, that's my thing. Let's go Giants. Skywalker says I'm a hater, but I'm supposed to be a hater. Y'all suck. I mean, we suck too, but y'all suck more because y'all supposed to be good. Y'all have a good roster. See, the Giants don't have a good roster. The Cowboys do though, and y'all still suck. So make that make sense. Make that make sense. Good morning, Distant. What's going on with you, brother? Yeah, well, you know what? Not for nothing, Moxie. There's a lot of people who think LeBron is better than Jordan. I didn't even know that, it was almost like a neck and neck thing when it comes to LeBron and Jordan. Like there's a lot of I didn't know. I'm just learning that there's a lot of people who think LeBron is better than Jordan. But again, I'm gonna save that conversation for over the weekend. I know it, Moxie. I know it. But I have my own opinions on who's the GOAT. I have my own GOAT. and it's neither LeBron or Jordan. But we're gonna get into that because you know the basketball thing is very, very subjective. And over the weekend, I'm gonna break it down for you. Yo, Reddit was good, Mamu. Good morning to you. Yeah, I'm just freestyling today. You know, I'm just talking about anything. You know, I'm gonna get deep more into the CBA stuff. Good morning, Lena. How are you this morning? Wow, this is beautiful. Y'all all just coming up in here. I like this. I like this. But yeah, for all y'all that's up in here, I appreciate y'all coming to see me this morning. That's what's up. That put a smile on my face. Just to see y'all come in. Like, no. I really appreciate that. That part. I was just about to get to that. Hit the like button, share the video. You know what I'm saying? And we can all just chop it up. And Reddit, I'm gonna get more in depth in that CBA stuff, but I downloaded the actual PDF for the CBA. Man, that thing is long. 300 and something pages that CBA thing is. Like it's a lot of reading. But yeah, why I got all of y'all in here, I would love to hear y'all opinions on what y'all think about Trump being on the Epstein files. Because there's no getting around that he's on there. His own general said that he's on there. He was mentioned multiple times. So I'm curious to see how he's going to get around that. Trump has been Teflon Don for a long time. People throw stuff at him and stuff don't seem to stick to Trump. So will this stick or will it not? It is very different. I think this Epstein stuff is very, very different because we are dealing with somebody who was doing stuff to children. And yes, Lena, the White Sox are doing actually much better than they were last year. I mean, they were the worst baseball team in the league last year. So, yeah, the White Sox are doing far better than they were last year. Yeah, Trump, he's like John Gotti, man. Like, don't nothing stick to Trump. Nothing. I don't care what it is. Just nothing sticks to that man. It's an uncanny thing. I've never seen that. And most politicians, if they were accused of the stuff that Trump was accused of, they would have had to resign. They'd have had to quit in shame and all that. But Trump he takes scandals and just eat them for lunch, man. Yeah. Pardon me, y'all. My daughter wanted to show me something real quick. Um, well, yeah, that's the thing. I don't think anything's gonna really happen because don't nothing ever happen to Trump. Yeah, Skywalker was going in on Dr. Chen, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. But I think CT the only one who could clip it. But yeah, I absolutely loved that shit. And I don't even know what that dude was thinking having that man back on his show like that. Like, leave them people alone. Yeah, distant. I think you're right about that. If it was something like super big, it'd have been really big. It'd have been really big. But we're gonna see. I don't know how. I'm not really sure how the Epstein thing is gonna play out. I'm very curious to see how that's gonna play out. But we're gonna definitely see. Because the Congress they weren't trying to deal with that like that, but the subcommittee, the oversight subcommittee, actually subpoenaed the DOJ for the files. So we're gonna see how that play out too. Everything is just a wait and see. Everything just wait and see, wait and see. But yeah, it's a beautiful Thursday morning. And again, I don't really typically today have a specific topic I want to get into. I'm just freestyling today. I want to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. So whatever is on your mind, y'all always welcome to join the panel. Hold on, let me drop this link. All right, that's for anybody who want to come up so we could talk about it. We talk about whatever you want. It's Freestyle Thursday today. Talk about whatever's on your minds. I'm for it this morning. Yeah, whatever's on your minds, y'all all welcome. Join the panel and we could chop it up, man. And ladies. Yeah, the Skywalker clip, him going at Chin, yeah, that was must see TV right there. That was real funny stuff. Cause yeah, Skywalker ain't usually that animated like that. So that was interesting. Yeah, that was interesting. Skywalker's usually pretty cool about most things. So to see him get like that, it was really like somebody needed to get at that dude though, because he's a dick. And again, I don't even know why Mr. Chaotic would even want to put him back on his stream like that. I couldn't understand that shit. But I can't. I don't read minds. I don't. You know what I mean? I don't read minds. I don't know what he thinking. Maybe he knows something I don't. I don't know. But that shit wouldn't have been me. You're not gonna come fuck with my channel and then come back to my panel and act like everything is okay. Fuck you. Hell no. That shit would not have been me. But CT, that guy, he been doing this a long time, so I'm not gonna question that man. Yeah, it was worth it. For me, it was worth it. I loved it. I loved every second of Skywalker dragging him, and I wish more people would have dragged him. Hell, I wish somebody would have came up there yesterday and dragged Muffin dumbass. But no, that's just my personal opinion. Like guys like that dude, he those dudes, they I call them online thugs. They talk tough online. But if you see them in real life, they not even on that kind of time like that. There's a lot of folks like that in these YouTube streets. They talk tough behind the screen. But if you see them in real life, they ain't nothing like what they're portraying on YouTube. A lot of it is an act for most of these people. But again, the link is in the chat for anybody who wants to come up, chop it up. Yeah, he's definitely consistent. I will give him that. He definitely consistent, and to his credit, and I hate to say this, he paid for his time. That's why I really couldn't really get too upset because he paid for his time. Hell, somebody send me $50, I'm gonna let them talk too, because I'm a capitalist. So that's what that's about. He paid for his time, and that's why he was able to rant like that. But see, people like him, they have to pay for their time because don't nobody want to hear that hate speech. I knew it was bad because I've never seen Noel triggered. Like he was so crazy yesterday that he triggered poor Noel, and I that's the first time I've ever seen Noel triggered. Like Noel usually, she be, she's kind of, well, we all know what Noel is. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, she was Muffin definitely had her triggered. And I ain't never seen Noel triggered before, so that was interesting too. That's how you are on the basketball court too, Skywalker. That's how you talk shit on the court. You hit your midi and you just go off on niggas. I know you must have been hell on the black top. I was trying to explain that to Bob. I don't remember what live it was, but when you on the court and you playing, it's only right that you talk a little bit of shit. That's basketball. Right, you got to talk a little bit of shit. It's almost like playing dominoes. Like when you at the dominoes table, you talking hella shit at the dominoes table. Basketball is the same way. It's just like dominoes and spades. I ain't never been to a dominoes game or a spades game where you didn't talk shit. Like, let me know. Like, y'all ever played dominoes or spades and not talk some shit? Yeah, I can imagine because not for nothing. I don't know too many Mexicans that really know how to play ball like that. And in the NBA, there's only been one ever Mexican who ever made it to the NBA. One. And he played for the Dallas Mavericks. His name was Edward Nahara. This was years ago when Dirt was on the Mavericks. Yeah, this was about 10 years ago. Yeah, Edward Nahara. He played for the Dallas Mavericks. He's the only Mexican player I know that ever made it to the NBA that was pure Mexican. Mike Bibby's a Mexican. He must be a half and half because his daddy black. Yeah, Skywalker. You know he's a genetic freak. Cause most Mexicans are short. Okay, let me see who I got. Oh, okay.
Hello.
Good
Hey,
morning.
BB.
Good
Good
morning, Lena.
morning.
How are you? I'm
Pretty
good.
good.
How are you, sweetheart?
Pretty good. I know this is a sports channel. I'm just gonna briefly talk about sports. I'm trying to be supportive. You know,
No,
women you say
we freestyling today. You could talk about whatever today.
first on
This
the
ain't
go.
just about sports today. This is just a freestyle. We could talk about whatever y'all want to talk about. That's why I labeled it freestyle because it's a lot going on. So
I just
just
want to say congratulations, WNBA's congratulations to Team Collier who beat Team Clark. Shout out to
right.
Reese's Puffs who
Oh, I
shut it
know it.
down. Shut it down. I'm still a Reese's fan. Go Reese's Puff. Reese's Puff. Eat them up. Eat them up. I love Reese's.
Yeah,
She plays.
listen, I'm an Angel Reese fan too. So
Yeah, she
I was,
represents my team.
but I will say this, Lena, the All Star game this year was trash. It
Don't
was
say that.
trash. It
Don't
was
say that.
trash
She
because
came
they
out the
didn't
bench.
really
She made.
play.
Well, she got her 6 points. She got 2 assists and 9 rebounds. Probably most of them her own rebounds, but still, she got rebounds. That's all that
Well,
matters.
that's Angel Reese thing is the me bounds, right? But I
Right.
think she could have got a lot more playing time. But I think Fee was being selfish for real. Like Fee, she was hogging all of the airtime. Like I
Mhm.
ain't. It was trash. And no, Skywalker, we're not gonna do the Barbie slander today.
And
AR
then,
is not trash. She's
and
not
this is
trash. She's the only woman in the W who's averaging a double double right now. She is not
ooh,
trash.
shout out to oh, is she the only one averaging the double? Is Angel
Yeah,
Reese?
she's the only woman in the W right now who's averaging a double double. The
What?
only woman.
Hopefully we get
But the
triple
game
doubles.
itself was trash. The All Star game this year compared to last year's game, like last year's game was a real game. Like that was a game last year. The WNBA All Stars versus the Olympic team, like that was a game. But this year,
Mm-hmm.
that shit was trash. That game was trash. Period.
Uh,
It was
and,
trash.
and this is our first year for 2025 where the first half of our playoffs is going to be best of three. And then when you get further down, it's going to be best of seven.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
we're getting there. Please
Yeah, I
support
mean the
women's
W.
sports.
Listen, the W is growing. They're
Yes,
not profiting, but they're definitely growing. So it's
I
only a
thought,
matter of time before they start turning a profit. But at terms for the All Star game, like Reddit is saying, let me put that on the screen. Like what she's saying, like I wish they would take the game seriously because
yeah.
it's more fun when they're actually playing. This is why folks don't want to watch the NBA All Star game because they don't take it seriously. They're just like it's like watching people take warm up jumpers, and that's corny. And the Barbie's not trash, Skywalker. She's not trash.
Me,
You
my
don't
Reese's puff
average a
around.
double double and be trash.
Mm-hmm.
You do not
And
average a double double and be trash, Skywalker.
she represents my team. Go Chicago Sky. I'm about to buy her shirt. I'm gonna rock my Reese's cup. My Reese's puff. I'm gonna go ahead and support my girl.
Oh yeah,
Also shout out.
I would like to get myself, well, at least not myself, but to get my kid one Angel Reese
Oh, Dad,
jersey.
you ain't gonna wear it. Why would you wear an Angel Reese shirt?
Now I'm not. I ain't say me. I said to get my kid one.
Get your kid, but why wouldn't you wear one?
I wouldn't say I wouldn't wear one. A jersey is a jersey,
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to buy you
But
one and
my
send it
kid
to you.
asked me to get her one.
Oh,
But
okay. I
it's
gotta.
kind of hard finding Angel Reese jerseys, especially in a child size. Like they got plenty of Angel Reese jerseys for the adults, but trying to find
Mm,
one for the kids has proven to be a little bit difficult.
I'm gonna give me and my daughter one. We love Angel.
Yeah, I mean, Angel's a beast, man. Angel's a dog.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all
It
might
was
not
funny
like
though.
how she move. She might look a little awkward and all that stuff. She might not have the best footwork, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, she's averaging a double double. So whatever she's doing is working. Is working. The numbers don't lie. At the end of the day, the numbers don't lie. And if the Sky team wasn't so trash, she would be in the MVP conversation this year. If her
Mm-hmm.
team wasn't such trash.
I can't call
Because
my
her
team.
herself, she's having a really good campaign this year. Nah, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't think it'll take 50 years, Skywalker, for them to turn a profit. Actually, the women's game has improved leaps and bounds over the past 5 years because they're starting to become more guard orient in what's the word? Orientated. It's starting to become a more guard league than it is a big league. And Yeti,
Mm-hmm.
that part. I was having this conversation last night with my homie Miss D about the femininity and the sexuality of the players. Thank you, Lena, for coming up. I appreciate you, Mama. But yeah, Angel Reese is not a bum. And for all y'all that say she a bum, y'all know that's how I know y'all not watching.
Sorry, I'm knocking myself out by mistake. And also,
Nah,
I
you're
looking in the
fine.
thing. Um, they was talking about. I forgot. I look at the comments. Whoever said LeBron is MVP to go, you crazy as hell. LeBron is a
Uh-oh.
drama queen.
That was
MJ,
Skywalker. That was
Mad.
Skywalker that said that LeBron is the GOAT. But that I'm gonna have a series, a GOAT series. I'm gonna do all four major sports in a GOAT conversation. I think that's gonna be really interesting. And I'm gonna start with the basketball because the basketball is gonna be that's
Mm,
gonna be a real lively
Michael
debate.
Jordan. And for football, everybody know, even though he a cheater, I know before my grandma's a huge football fan. I've never seen a woman love football like my grandma. But even she died 2010, she called it. She said that Shady Brady was going to be the best quarterback of all time. I wish you could have lived to see him hit the record with most
Well,
amount of
I'm not
uh,
gonna hold you.
Super Bowl
Listen,
games.
Tom Brady. I'm not the biggest Tom Brady fan, and for my money, I'd rather Joe Montana. But Brady
Mhm,
got all the records, right? I mean, he
mhm,
owns all of the quarterback records, so it's kind of hard to dispute Brady um GOAT claim because he do own all the records.
mhm.
And
Um,
Skywalker, you tripping. MJ is not trash.
are you
MJ is
crazy
not
as hell? You
trash. Yeah,
crazy in
you're
life.
crazy as hell.
Ain't no way.
Yeah,
And
he
I honestly
crazy as
feel
hell for that.
I don't care what anybody say. I honestly think MJ could take him in his heyday. If LeBron came out in the '90s, him versus MJ, I think MJ will take him because he's dealt with big horse like players or mules or whatever that straight push
Nah, but
that way.
he's never dealt with nothing like LeBron though. LeBron
Well, I
moved
feel
like MJ
Shaq.
and is 60 pounds heavier. So, like, he would have struggled with LeBron, MJ. He would have. Cause LeBron
I think
just
he would have.
he got 60 pounds on Jordan. Like Jordan at his peak was like 215. Like LeBron is like 260.
Yeah, but you had people like Shaq is heavy. You had the mailman Malone was heavy like that. The
Yeah, but they
Admiral.
don't play the same position, Lena. Like Karl Malone
I
and Shaq,
understand where
they're
you
fours and fives. Jordan was a
from.
shooting guard.
Right. Okay.
So like
Okay.
Jordan would have never had to like guard Shaq or guard Karl Malone because they don't play the same position.
Right. I give you that, but I also feel too. I've literally seen Michael like play, and he is like a thinker. I think he's quicker on his feet. He's a very good leader, and I
He
think
was
he
a
would have
great
found a
leader.
way around. I think
He
he
was an
found a way out of
asshole, but he was a great leader. Michael
it.
Jordan did get the best out of the people that played with him.
Yeah. I think he would have. I think he would have run circles around him. I really do. I don't think LeBron would have won a ring against him. We fucking
That's what
don't.
I say to you, Skywalker. But listen, I'm not gonna knock your LeBron peak claim though. Listen, LeBron statistically, it's hard to argue. The man has 40,000 points, 10,000 rebounds, and 10,000 assists. Like nobody is ever gonna attain that. I don't see it, and not in my lifetime. Those
And
kind of
then,
numbers, I don't see anybody reaching that kind of numbers. And
and
yes,
if we
LeBron do play all five positions, yes, but
okay, and
he's
if
not
we
the first
smoking
to
dope,
do it.
now if we smoking dope, we know LeBron doing steroids. That's why he's still in the game. He doing something.
Hey, speaking of that, you ever heard of Jeff Teague, Lena? Jeff
Mm-mm.
Teague podcast. Jeff Teague, he was a point guard. He used to play for the Atlanta Hawks. He played for a couple of teams actually, Jeff Teague.
What
But yeah,
year?
this was about 5 years ago.
Yeah, see, I don't keep it. If you
Yeah,
talk about the
he on
90s,
his
I know.
podcast, he was saying that he thought that LeBron was on steroids and all that stuff.
I believe it. I think that's a horse. He on steroids. He get some injection shots. Yeah, I
You
think he
Reddit,
rolled up.
you're hilarious for this. That's funny, LaBalco, like he's Barry Bonds or something. But yeah, I mean, look, it's how you 42 and you still performing like how you performing is crazy work. I'm not gonna lie. Like Barry Bonds was 40 years old, hitting 70 home runs. Like how else was you doing that if you wasn't juiced up? But I'm not really sure what the NBA doping rules are. Like
Mm-hmm.
LeBron has never been caught up in any doping scandal, so I can't really say that he's doping. You know what I mean? All I
Mm-hmm.
can say is that he just take really good care of his body. You know, LeBron spends about $1 million a year, maybe even $2 million a year, just on his body. You know what
On
I'm saying?
steroids.
Nah, the man got a whole hyperbolic chamber in his crib, yo. Like the hyperbolic chambers that you see in the hospitals, he got one in his house. Like
Mm-hmm.
the man spent the money on to take care of his body. So
I just
I
do
don't think
not like.
LeBron is on anything though. I don't
I
think
do
that.
not like him. I do not like them comparing him to MJ. Now I can see Kobe being in the running. I like Kobe, and I can see. I'm trying to think who else is good. I could see. I like this person Curry. I mean Curry's cool. I like Curry out of the new people. But that's it. I'm such a '90s fan. I stopped watching basketball after Jordan left. I couldn't watch it anymore.
Well, I dig it. Today's basketball is a little different. The guard is starting to change. Durant is old now, Curry's old now, LeBron is old now. So it's time for them to kind of make way for the Anthony Edwards and the SGAs, the Jokers, the Lukas of the world. It's
Yeah,
about to be a changing of the guard in the NBA. Like
yeah. The
those
last
guys
time
are
the
about
Changing
to,
guy,
they're on their
I
decline.
the last Changing of the guards, I had high hopes, but he let me down. Was when D Rose was playing in the year he won MVP. I was on D Rose nuts. I was like, go ahead, D Rose. He just kept getting injured. I was like, no.
Yeah, I felt bad for D Rose too. Listen, if Derrick Rose don't get hurt, he probably top 15 all time. If Derrick Rose
Yeah,
never got hurt, he probably would have been top 15 all time. Like Derrick
yeah, he
Rose
was
in his
good.
prime, he was he was amazing. Like D
Yeah,
Rose was really that dude, bro. Like he
yeah, he
was
was.
really that guy.
I love the
Yeah,
way
D
he moved.
Rose was a monster. Like his hops was insane. Like that boy
Yeah,
had bunnies. Like he was like Ja Morant with the
yeah,
bunnies. Like Derrick Rose shit was crazy. LeBron's. Yeah, Jordan don't have any bronze medals, Yeti. That's only LeBron with the bronze medal. But you notice now the US Olympic team, they don't play no games no more. They lost that one Olympics, the LeBron Olympics that they lost and finished third.
Mhm.
They haven't lost since.
Yeah, but that couldn't have been Michael.
Yeah, but Mike only got to play in one Olympics, and that was in '84. And
Sure, yeah.
it's hard to count Michael Jordan gold medal because um what's the word I'm looking for? You didn't have full participation in the 1984 Olympics. Like all of the Eastern Bloc countries, Russia, and all of those Eastern Bloc countries that were part of the old Soviet Union, they didn't participate in that Olympics. So Jordan didn't get to experience a full Olympic. He didn't get to have a full Olympic experience because there was a lot of countries that boycotted that '84 Olympics.
You know,
So he
Michael would have
didn't get to
done
have
that.
that full experience like everybody else. Not saying that his gold medal don't count, but he that team didn't get to have the full experience of playing everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And you really think D Rose would have been the best point guard ever? I don't know about that. Would he have been top 10? Yeah, but I don't think he would have been the best point guard ever. I can't say that. Not better than a Magic or something like that. I'm not going to go there.
I don't know. Would he be the
And good
best?
morning, L.
I don't know. Who do you
Thank
think
you
would
for
be?
coming through.
Who do you think is the best point guard ever?
I'm going to have my GOAT series on the weekend, but if you want to ask me who the best point
Mhm.
guard is, I'm going
Mhm.
Magic Johnson.
Oh, okay, nice. Okay.
And you could also make a case for Isaiah Thomas
No
too.
problem.
Yeah, Zeke
Okay.
was that guy. Yeah, you could definitely make a case for Isaiah Thomas. Um, you could make a case for Stockton too, for real.
I
John
can see
Stockton.
that. So
You could make
Jazz,
a case for
yes,
John
I can see
Stockton.
that. That white boy was kind of he was kind of bad because we played. I keep saying we like I was on the team. The Bulls played them twice for the championship ring. He was
Right,
giving them
Utah. Right.
some stat. Yeah, the Jazz. Yeah, he was giving them some static. The
Yeah,
white boys
John
could play. They
Stockton.
had a lot of white boys on their team. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they
could
had
play.
Stockton. They had Hornacek. Like, yeah, that
Awesome.
Utah team was pretty good. They just couldn't get past. The Bull team was just better
Yeah,
at the
it
end of the
was.
day. Like, they were just better. When
Yeah,
you already got the best player in the world on your team, right? And then you
yeah.
add Pippen and Rodman and all that. So, like, listen, I'm not a Bulls fan, but the '96 Bulls are the greatest team I've ever seen.
Oh,
And
96
I
was one
don't
of their
think that's
best years.
yeah, I don't and I
96
don't
is
think
the
that's a
year they
debate.
had won the most amount of pre the season before the playoff. They won the most amount of games. They won 72 that year.
Yeah, they went 72-10. Like,
Yeah,
I think the '96 Bulls are the greatest basketball team ever. And that's
I
just my
agree.
personal opinion. And
I'll
I'm
never
not a
forget.
Bull fan. I'm a Nick fan. And Art, what's going on, brother? Random, what's good?
I remember
And
when
yeah,
we
I remember
won.
Greg Oaks to tag.
Yeah, great. That's what said Elsa tag. I said it's an Elsa. I remember when they hit that record. I came into class. It was like Chicago. We were so on it. Like I came to chemistry class in high school, and we canceled learning that day. And somebody posted up uh, uh the a clipping from the newspaper that they won 72, and we threw a party just because
Oh
they
yeah,
won. Yeah, that wasn't even the World Series, just because they won. So yeah, we
I
were
know
like
it.
huge. Yeah, like I mean, Michael Jordan made me watch other teams. That's when I knew I was a fanatic. I was a junkie. I sat there. I would watch the Bulls play, and then I would watch other teams to play to see who we gonna play. I used to watch Miami Heat. Okay, I was like, oh yeah, they the best 3-point shooting team in the league. I would watch Atlanta Hawks when Matumbo was on there, and
Right.
Grant Hill. I was watching to see who we was gonna play. Jazz, Sonics. I was like hooked. Like it's a whole real
Well,
basketball like
Michael
culture.
Jordan introduced a lot of people to basketball. Like he brung a lot of casual fans who didn't care nothing about basketball into the NBA because everybody wanted to look at him. And
Mhm.
looking at him, exposed people to everybody else, to the Hakeem Olajuwons, the Charles Barkleys, the Karl
Mhm.
Malones, the Patrick
Yep.
Ewings, the Reggie
The Admiral.
Millers. Like,
Yes.
Jordan had plenty of competition. He had plenty of competition. So for people who want to say, oh, Jordan didn't have no competition, y'all full of crap. Jordan had plenty of competition. He was just better than everybody. He was just so
Mhm.
far above everybody else that, it was just crazy.
Mhm.
Like Michael Jordan at his peak, wasn't nobody really dealing with MJ at his peak. Not at his
Mhm.
peak.
No.
And yeah, and Allen Iverson is my dude. Don't get me wrong. Like I love AI. He the answer
Mhm.
for a reason. But Allen Iverson, he never got to have the team around him. For like Allen Iverson, I thought could have got him a chip. You know what I'm saying? But he just never
Yeah,
had the pieces around him.
that's true. He didn't. Oh
Oh yeah, and
well.
Skywalker, you're right. Don't nobody do it by himself, and that's why Iverson don't have a chip now because he couldn't do it by himself.
That's what I felt about Grant Hill.
Well, Grant Hill is a different case because when Grant Hill was in his prime, he couldn't stay healthy. Like Grant
Yeah,
Hill kept getting hurt.
he was hurt. Yeah, that was another thing with his problem too.
Like we
But I
we
love
didn't get
Grant
to
Hill.
see the best of Grant Hill because Grant Hill in his prime couldn't stay healthy long
He's a
enough.
hero of his
And
time, kind of.
EAE, what's going on, brother?
Oh, you crazy as hell. Yeah, if you think Allen Iverson greater than MJ, crazy
Let's
in
see
life.
what random talking about. He said 2001 Sixers had defensive player of the year, six man, and MVP. Lakers were just better. You know what? I can't argue that. I can't
We had
argue that.
1 year we had
They
the
did.
best six
They
players.
did have. I think Matumbo was the defensive player of the year. I think. I want to say it was Aaron McKee was the sixth man. I want to say that I could be wrong, but I'm just trying to go back in my memory. And
1 year
what
we
else?
had that. 1 year the
But
Bulls
the
had
Lakers were just better. They were.
we had
The Lakers were
we had the
deeper.
we had the best 6 man player that was Kukoc. We had the best 3 point shooter of the league that was Steve Kerr, and then we had one of the best defense player, which was Rodman, and that's 1 year that we had. I just remember. That's crazy how you used to remember that stuff. I when it comes to the basketballs in the '90s, I'm like on it. Now afterwards, you might get me here and there. I watched Steve, Steph Kerr a couple Curry. I mean, sorry, Steph Curry a couple of times. I watched when D Rose was popping for a little bit. And that's it. I don't like today basketball like that. I'm sorry, I be trying.
Well, today's basketball is a little different because there's so much 3 point shooting. Like in the 90s, you didn't have all this 3 point shooting. So it made the game a lot more physical. Like today's game is just, it's a track meet. It's who shoots the most, who hits the most threes normally wins the game. Like it's not as physical as it was back in the days. And Art, I see
Mhm.
you, Art,
Hey
I see
Art,
you
good
with
morning.
your Lake show. And listen, I'm not a Laker hater. That's something I'm not. I'm not a Laker hater. I don't hate the Lakers at all.
They
You know,
okay. I can
yeah,
deal with
the
them.
Lakers were good, especially the Showtime Lakers, the Magic
Um,
Lakers that I grew up with.
oh
That Laker
yeah.
team was the business.
No. All right, I'll be back. I just got off of work. I need to take a quick nap.
Okay, Lena,
But
thank you
thank
for
you for
coming.
talking. I support your
Thank
show.
you.
I love you. I hope you blow up, BD. All right.
I hope so too. Thank
All
you.
right.
I
Yeah.
appreciate that. You know, this my little PSA real quick. Like, sub, share. You know, the Cash App at the bottom of the screen. I take any donations, 50 cents, a dollar, whatever y'all want to send, man. I'll be greatly appreciative of that. Skywalker, what's up, man? What you got going on over there? Or should I say Sky Raider? Well, while Skywalker doing whatever he doing, um, yeah, that was a good conversation right there. I love to hear when women talk sports. I love that. Hey, Skywalker, I can't hear you, brother. You might have to go out and come back in because you were breaking up. And Art, get your simping ass up here, Art. Bring your simping ass up here. Ert, see what EAE talking about. He said, I only watched 3 total Jordan on the Bull games live in my lifetime. AI, who's Iverson, Kobe were my era. I watched more Jordan on the Wizard games than Jordan on the Bulls. Okay, so that tells me you're a little bit younger. So your era was more about Kobe and Shaq. So you really didn't get to see Jordan at his best. But there's plenty of film on Jordan at his best.
BD, what's up?
Yo, Ert was good, bro. What y'all
Nothing,
got
nothing.
going on?
Nothing. About to get my day started.
Hey, hey, Art, not to be in your business, but what you do for work?
Uh, I got a 9 to 5.
Oh, okay. I
I
mean,
got
what exactly do you do? Like, I'm not asking you like what your job is. I just want to know like what field are you in?
shit. I work for the government.
Oh, okay. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're not affected by all of the Doge cuts.
Oh no.
I hope that
Yeah.
doesn't affect you.
I got job security for sure.
Okay. Because I know the Doge cuts, they were going after the federal workers pretty hard.
Yeah. Nah. I got job security.
Are you a state guy or a local guy?
Uh, state guy or local guy? I'm federal.
Oh, you're federal. Oh, okay.
My
I
job.
dig
If
it.
I want, if I wanted to transfer, I can go to any state in America and get hired.
Gotcha.
I just don't like to talk about shit like that.
No, I wasn't trying to put you out there like that. But I'm just curious. Like me, I
Nah,
make
I
plastic for a living. I'm a fabricator. That's what I do for a living. So,
got it. Yeah.
I always want to know what people occupations are. It gives me a better idea of like how that person thinks because everybody don't do just any kind of job. You understand what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just more in the. I'm just more. It's like more in the public, so I don't like to. You know.
Nah, you're fine. Like I said, I
That's
wasn't trying to be in your business. I was just curious.
right. Right.
But
Right. If it
but
wasn't,
why
if it
you
wasn't you, I wouldn't have answered that question. I answered that for you though, but normally
But
I
I'm
try to.
just curious, Art, why I got you up here. What was you thinking? What was your process when you came up with the whole ladies glam night thing? What was your thinking when you came up with that
Um, it was like
for the
three or four.
gospel?
It was like three or four things I was thinking. Hold on one second. Hold on one second.
Okay. Skywalker, you on mute, buddy. Yeah. Oh, okay. EAE, I dig it. Hey, EAE, quick question. I see you got Mr. Spock as your profile. Are you a big Star Trek guy? Because I'm a Star Trek guy too, especially when it comes to the original Star Trek. Like I was a big, huge fan of the original Star Trek. Not so much Next Generation and Voyager and all that shit, but the original Star Trek, I was a big, huge fan. The Captain Kirk, Spock, McCoy, Star Trek. Like, that's the Star Trek I watched.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I just wanted to put that out there.
Real
Um,
quick, I got a couple minutes before I gotta get off. But when I came up with the what's that called? Ladies' night.
right,
Every time we asked a lady that came up, they always say, "I don't look good. I don't like how I look." And but they always speak in the chat, and got good ideas, good questions. So I was like, all right, well, let's just make a night where you guys already know that we want you to come up. So let's just make a night where the women get glammed up and they come up, and we get to meet them, get to know each other.
right,
I like to think of Gospel of Bob as like a family because we argue almost every night, and then the next day we cool again. So,
right. That part. And we definitely do a lot. Like, I almost ain't make it to this live because y'all dudes had me up to like 3 in the morning with y'all craziness. Like, y'all were wilding yesterday. I had a
huh?
good time though.
Yeah, last night, man. The hardest thing about it though, hosting something like that, it's hard to decompress at the end of the night because
Right,
you gotta kind of like, uh, well, for me, I go from one mode to the other. Like on YouTube, I'm I'm a content creator, but then in real life, I gotta remember not to take certain things personal. So yeah,
right.
but
Well,
it's
that's
about
my
you,
thing.
man.
I don't take nothing personal.
Yeah, no, I called in to just holler at you, man. It's about you.
I
I see
appreciate
you
you, Art,
doing your
and I
thing,
appreciate
man.
all the
Shout
support.
You going places? Congratulations on can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Can you hear me, BD?
Yeah, yes,
Oh,
yes.
congratulations on 101 subscribers. You done reached 100.
Right.
Next
Well,
200. Then after that it's
that was
1,000.
pretty cool to look at this
We going
morning.
places,
I'm
man.
not gonna lie,
Like you
that
been
put a
saying.
smile on my face. To
What you say?
crack 100 subscribers, that really like what I hate to sound like this, but you get that soft, mushy, warm feeling inside.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Trust me.
like like when I seen that this morning, I was like, wow, that is fucking cool.
Yeah, I
Somebody,
looked at that.
because me, I'm not, I'm not like y'all. I'm not as entertaining as y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't crack jokes and all that stuff. I'm not very funny.
You got to
So
stop
for
saying that
somebody
now
like me,
because
that
you
made
got
me
to stop
feel
saying
good.
that now. You got to stop saying that now because you're officially a content creator and you're very entertaining when it comes to sports. I just listened to you and Leonard talk. That impressed the shit out of me. I didn't know Leonard knew. I didn't know
Yeah,
Leonard
me
knew sports.
neither. Me either.
Um,
Yeah, she threw me off with that. Like she actually knows some stuff. Like I
right.
was very impressed. I was very impressed. And
But sports,
I tell people this all the time. There's not enough women that watch sports, and this is why women's sports can't get off the ground like that because not enough women support women's sports. But
right?
that's another story.
Nah, you're right. I mean, but women watch sports because men do.
Right.
that's pretty. That's pretty much it. If men don't lead them, and shit, listen, you talk to WNBA, so you might get women to start watching it, because you be saying some names I've never freaking heard of. Like yesterday, you was talking about all these names. If you walk down and ask a casual fan, I did not know one of them names you named.
Right.
Remember
But you know who
yesterday?
Caitlin Clark is, though. I bet you
That's
know
my
who
favorite
Caitlin
player.
Clark is.
That's my favorite player. That's my favorite player. That's my girl.
Yeah, I know
That's my
you
girl
you
right
know
there.
who Caitlin Clark is.
That's my girl right there.
Yeah,
I know
that's you and
Caitlin Clark, and
Skywalker.
I know Angel Reese. She can't make a layup for shit, but for some reason, everybody thinks she's great. but that's another story.
Listen, again, men lie, women lie, but numbers don't lie. Like Angel Reese, she's the only woman in the W right now, averaging a double double. So for all her layup malfunctions, she's still getting the numbers. So she
Yeah,
doing something. She doing
that's because of
something.
them me bounds.
Hey, a me bound is a rebound at the end of the day.
Gotcha.
It's still a rebound.
Hey, before I get off, did you hear that conversation at the end of the night last night?
Oh, with y'all, you, Mo Love, and T and all that.
LG, yeah.
Yeah, that was interesting. I seen you trying to, trying to moderate that. You look like you were struggling and having fun at the same time.
Man,
Like I don't even know how that worked, how you could struggle and have fun struggling,
right,
but
right.
but
Hey, you
you
named
seem
it.
to pull it off pretty good.
Hey, I'm gonna let you go, man. Congratulations on the 100 again. I'll be listening in the background. Uh, I'll see y'all tonight.
All right. Take
All
care,
right, bro.
Ert. And have a good day at work, man.
You too, man. Take care. Have a good day.
All right. And EAE, you're definitely right about this. It's gonna be Cleveland, Detroit, Philadelphia, is Detroit in particular. I know they're coming. Portland is coming. They're gonna have a Canada team in the W. I think it's either gonna be Toronto or Vancouver. But yes, the W is definitely expanding. Nah, he doesn't watch the games. Reddit. He's not a lot of these folks are casuals. They're not, avid fans like how me and you are. Yeah, he don't watch the games like that. But like I explain to everybody when it comes to the W, if Angel Reese brung you to the W, that's great. If Caitlin Clark brung you to the W, that's great. Anything that could bring you to the W, in my opinion, is great. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I want to see the women succeed and I want to see them get their money. Yeah, more EAE. That this is definitely correct. More cities will definitely help them out. The more revenue they could generate, then maybe, just maybe, it will become a situation where they could turn a profit. Okay, your question, Reddit, is how does more cities help? The reason why more cities and more teams help is because you get a greater share of the revenue when you have more teams. Remember, it takes 200 million now for a team to enter the W. So if you got three teams that's entering in the next few years, that's 200 million, 200 million, 200 million. That's $600 million of new revenue. That's how that helps. And the revenue gets cycled around between the league. So for all the new teams that are coming, it's going to help some of the older teams that are struggling. Teams like the Dream, teams like the Sun, that aren't really like packing their arenas like that. It helps those teams out. Teams like the Dallas Wings, you know what I'm saying? Like, it helps those teams. Let's read this. Random says, if the NBA stopped subsidizing and they had to lean on other investors, the league would grow faster, and the NBA has done all it can do. Look how the Big Three is profitable with no help from the NBA. The Big Three model is pretty much the same thing that Unrivaled is doing on the women's side. That's where the Unrivaled model comes from, the Big Three model. So the Big Three model has definitely worked. And yes, that's the goal, Reddit. That is the goal, is to get players like Asia Wilson and Fee Collier, all the top tier superstars, that kind of money, the 500,000, because the max contract you could have in the W right now is only 250,000. And I think you only have 4 or 5 women who are making that kind of money like that. I know Asia Wilson's one of them. Fee Collier's one of them. I gotta research Breonna Stewart, but I think Erica Wheeler is up there too when it comes to like contract 200,000 plus. I think Erica Wheeler might be up there too, but I gotta double check that. Don't quote me. But yeah, that's what the expansion would do. It will help cycle more money around to help the teams that are struggling. And at this point, the what's the word I'm looking for? The NBA is eventually going to absorb the W at some point. The NBA is not going to let the W fail because the NBA don't want to hurt its brand. The WNBA is a part of the NBA brand. So there's no way that the NBA just let the W go belly up. That's not going to happen. Actually, Skywalker, that's untrue. They don't get paid enough. They're not getting paid enough. On average, the minimum salary for the W is $70,000. For a professional athlete, that's untenable. $70,000, I make that, and I'm just a regular person. So yeah, that's definitely like not enough. 70,000 for a professional athlete, you ain't doing nothing with that. Badass, what's good with you, brother? Good morning. I appreciate this, y'all. I'm really loving this. I really am. I appreciate all the support. But y'all go ahead, y'all like, sub, share, the Cash App on the bottom of the screen. And I appreciate just all of y'all just being here, man. Who's overpaid? Are you saying that the women are overpaid? They're definitely like not overpaid. If anything, they're underpaid. Yeah, they're not overpaid at all. And this is why they're trying to, negotiate a new contract because they're not getting paid. And yeah, that part. Like these athletes are working. Yeti Life says athletes put in 15 hours a day with all of the workouts and studying film. Right. It's not like they're not working. They are working. Yes. Oh, questions to ponder. Good morning, questions. How are you? Questions says BD. Are you speaking about the WNBA? I sure am. Questions. I was just explaining to Yeti that that they're not getting paid enough. Well, Skywalker, there's a difference between revenue and profit, right? Revenue is what you're actually bringing in, and profit is the money that's left over after you pay all your bills. So that's how that work. And they're not underpaid. They're not underpaid, but they're not making the money that they should be making. EAE, that's funny. He says, every man should have a voice that has AAE tone of voice. There will be less crash outs in the world. Yeah. I mean, Question's voice, she's AI. Like you gotta love AI. I just want to call her AI for now on. Like I love the questions to ponder, but AI, I just love the AI stuff because her voice is amazing. I will give her that. They do bring in something, Skywalker. That's not true. Last year they brung in $200 million. So they are bringing in something. Well, their questions. There are other professional women's leagues coming out. You have a soccer league that's been around for about 2-3 years. Next year you're about to have women's softball, right? Professional women's softball. So it's coming. The women, they're coming. They're definitely coming. But Why do they owe every year? That's a good question, Skywalker. Why do they owe every year? I think the reason why they owe every year is because they're spending more than what they're bringing in. That's usually how a person owes, is when you're spending more than what you're bringing in. But it's not always going to be like that. Like the NBA in the 70s had the same issue. They were spending more than what they were bringing in. So all businesses go through that. You know, you have to have a downside before you have an upside. That's usually how that works. Yeah, women's softball, yeah, that's coming next year. They're going to have a professional softball league for the women. If it wasn't for the NBA, the WNBA would have been under already. And Skywalker, you're correct. If it wasn't for the WNBA, I mean for the NBA, the W would have went under a long time ago. You're right about that. But again, the NBA is not going to let the WNBA fail because they don't want to hurt their brand. So they will absorb the WNBA before they let it just crash out. He said, Ponder, you funny for this. At Badass, I will read a history novel to him. Nothing freaky, right? Listen, you would make the perfect voice for Kindle. If you was the voice on my Kindle, I would read more audio books. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. If your voice was the Kindle voice, I would definitely read more audiobooks. The link is in the chat for anybody who want to come up. Y'all know the drill already. This Big Dog Sports. I'm your boy BD. Like, sub, share, hit the Cash App. All donations is appreciated. And we in here today, fellas and ladies. I love this. Like, I'm truly loving all of this support. Like, oh yeah, Kobe was definitely pro WNBA. And there are a lot of NBA players that super advocate for the WNBA. You see Tyrese Halliburton. Um, there's a couple other players, Ja Morant. Um, what's this dude on Miami? Bam Adebayo. Like, there's a lot of NBA players. Draymond Green. There's a Shaq. Like, there's a lot of NBA players that, you know what I mean, advocate strongly for the W. And Lisa Leslie, I think Lisa Leslie is only a matter of time before Lisa Leslie become a coach in the W. And that's another thing the W could definitely use is some big name, high profile coaches. And yes, Bad, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Oh, look at what we got here. AI, what's going on with you, Mama? Good morning to you.
Morning, BG. Good morning to you and your daughter. I hope all is well. You guys
Yes,
have.
all is definitely well. I'm glad to see you up here. How are you doing, sweetheart?
I am very good. Thank you, BG. I'm very, very good. Oh,
And you know, this panel today is just a freestyle. It don't have to necessarily be sports. I want to talk about whatever you want to talk about. So tell me, AI, what's on your mind today?
well, don't get me started because I'm going to
No,
pick up things.
I'm trying to
There's
get you started. Tell
history.
me what's on your mind. I'm
Well,
all ears.
remember I the some time ago. Remember when you tip of the tongue you corrected me? I couldn't remember the Prussian general, and you did. It was von Hindenburg.
Yeah, Von Hindenburg.
That I didn't see, and then I realized, wait a minute, it does make sense that BD would know so much about military history because you're such a sports guy. Because it all goes well together. Like it's still gladiator. Like the fact that you know a lot about like military history, it would make sense that you would also be a big sports guy because it's still at the end of the day strategy and
Yes.
teamwork. It's
It's
strategy and
definitely strategy. But you know, I've studied extensively both world wars. You understand what I'm saying? And especially World War I in particular. Like I know a lot about World War I because World War I set the table for what we see as the modern 20th
you
and
are so
21st
correct.
century.
Oh, you are 1000% correct. Like you have no idea how correct you are. And there's I can literally write like 1,000 page research paper on that particular thesis. What
Yeah,
World
I
War
mean, World War I was very important to how this world works now.
Yeah,
Like I understand, like people don't really get, into the weeds of World War I because it was so long ago, but we still feel the effects of World War I today.
yeah.
Like
If you think
you
about
wouldn't
it,
have modern
Ukraine.
Europe was built from World War I.
So
The way
correct.
Europe looks right now, all of the borders and
Yeah,
how the countries are drawing up, all that stemmed from World War I.
100%. You are totally correct.
Yeah, a
And
lot of people don't understand that.
yeah,
Like the
and I
way
mentioned
modern Europe is set up, all that is because of World War I, not World War II, but
no.
World War I.
And technically, BD, World War II is really not World War II. World War II is World War One, Part Two. All of this is World War One. World War II is World War One, Part Two. The
Right,
situation now in Ukraine, that's really unfinished business from World War One. And I even knew back in 2017, I was like, it's 100 years past World War One. It's 2017, World War One, 1917, and the Russians are still deciding these borders. And I
right.
knew then they're going to go back to war. I actually bought stock. I bought military stock. I went ahead and bought Northrop Grumman just because of what happened in 2017. Because the Europeans are not finished with World War One. They're not. That's
Well,
what's
here's
holding
the
them.
thing. Here's the thing about World War I. World War I, a lot of people died. That's just number one. Like we
That's
had
why
tens of millions of people die in World War I. But
BD,
World
do you
War One
know
was
something?
never settled. Like
No, it
that's
was
what people forget. World War I was never settled.
not
Germany
at all.
didn't lose World
No,
War One.
not at
They
all.
didn't lose. They just pulled out.
They just pulled out.
And
They
they
did.
only pulled out because the Americans came in there and they
Wilson.
became outnumbered. If
Wilson.
America didn't join World War I, they would have
Yeah.
still been fighting.
Till this day. And it was
Yeah, they
Wilson.
would have still been fighting.
Wilson. It was Wilson Woodrow Wilson.
Yeah,
They really
it was the Americans that turned the tide of the war for the Allied powers in World War I, and it wasn't because of their military might. It was
no.
just because of the bodies. They just had more bodies.
BD, do you realize?
Trench warfare is rough, man.
Oh my
Like
God.
World War I, they were fighting in the trenches. It wasn't no people dropping bombs, and you ain't have tanks and all that. This was foot on foot, trench on trench, people charging through barbed wire lines, combat, tear gas, all type of stuff. World War I was some brutal, brutal fighting. Like
Oh
people don't understand how brutal the fighting was.
yeah.
And
Like you
and the end of World War I was pretty much, it wasn't an end. It was pretty much what I would call an armistice. It was a 20-year armistice, basically, what the end
right,
of World War I. That's pretty much what it was.
right, correct. Yeah. Yeah, you're 100%. Oh my God. You sound just like my college professor, BD. Look at you. You should look into like teaching this at a community college. For
Well, no, I
real.
mean, I just know a lot about, that part of history, the world wars. I studied that shit like
That's
really
the postmodern
extensively.
world. Like BD, just
Yeah,
as you're
because
talking,
World War I is what
that's
created the postmodern world,
the postmodern
pretty
world.
much.
And the number of people. So there is, I have actually brought this up with Hafez. There is a philosopher. You're familiar with him, Nietzsche. Nietzsche.
Yeah, Nietzsche, I've heard of him.
He called this out. He died in 1890. So, and he was basically witnessing the changes in Europe that led to World War One. And the
Right.
biggest change, the biggest change, maybe because of my upbringing, but World War One, and I've said this before, was like the end of the divine right kings. So all of
Right.
these leaders, I am here bestowed by God, the divine right. The whole, I mean, Austrian, well, yeah, Holy Roman Empire really came to an end. What happened
The
in Russia,
Ottomans came to an end too.
the Ottomans came to a total and complete end.
Mm-hmm.
Total, a whole different conversation. It's just, it's everything that you're saying is so 1000% correct. The complete building of the world that we understand it really happened with World War One, the end of World War One. It's um you know how they say like destruction or like an explosion, that like there's the world before and then like the world after, and the
Yeah.
world after will never go back to the way it was before. That's World War One. It's like
Yeah, that
every
part. Like World War One ended feudalism.
end of
It
feudalism. Yes, it
ended kings and queens. Like
ended king.
kings and queens ended after World War One.
Really,
It really wasn't no more kings and queens after World War One. Like you had the British king, right? And you
but
had,
that's a
the
different
Danish
conversation.
king, but that was
That's a
pretty much
different
it.
conversation. So bringing up the British, they had, well, you know one thing. So, in Hafez and Vanta and Yaqub, they would understand this too. Europe really divides itself. So in philosophy, BD, there's continental philosophy, and that's literally like the European continent. They have their own very unique philosophy. Even Imperius would bring this up little by little. And I know,
Right.
and I remember in the chat, people in the chat would actually come at Imperius and they would say, no, Imperius, no, you follow empiricism. And I was like, that is so correct.
Yeah,
Like,
imperialism. Yes.
no, 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 not imperialism, empiricism, like the empiricist, like
Oh,
EMP.
okay.
It's a
Okay.
particular branch of philosophy, but it's
I
specific
got you
to
now.
the UK. Like the Germans and the French, they kind of have their own specific philosophy, idealism, and they are Marxists. The Europeans are very Marxist. But
Right.
the UK is a very unique culture and philosophy. And that's where the United States comes from. That's why we don't really learn as much about continental philosophy unless you go to like Catholic school. We only learn like the UK and the UK, the British, and the United States, because the culture and the philosophy basically is the same. And the UK was able to put their monarchy under a constitution.
Mm-hmm.
First, they had,
And
eventually they had the Magna Carta with King Richard, and then eventually they had like the Orange Revolution. Like they were able to put like checks and balances on their monarchy, so things wouldn't just get like batshit crazy. Like
well,
we
here's the
just
thing about
like
the
that.
the British Empire. Like after World War One, the British Empire expanded dramatically after World War One. Like the
Just think
British
about
were
that.
everywhere. They were
Isn't that
in Burma,
crazy?
they were in Singapore, they were in Hong Kong, they were in the Philippines, they were in India,
They were
especially
in India,
India. Like
big
they
country,
went to India
large
hard, the
they did.
British.
Yes, they did. And then we look at India now. India back then was India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh, and I
Right.
think Burma too.
And
So all
Burma,
these
yeah.
these little countries that we know of, they were all just India. After World War One, they just kept collecting more and more stuff, more colonies. And then on top of that, the British, they took not only all that Ottoman land, they also took what the Germans had. The Germans also had African colonies too. A lot of people don't
You,
know
you
that.
you damn right. They had a lot of African colonies,
A lot
especially
of
in the North and West of Africa, the Tunisias, the Libyas, the Albanias, the Sierra Leones. The Germans were, and the Portuguese was in all that.
Yeah, they were. They were going back and forth, and the Germans had Benin and Togo, but the British took all of that. So they were like if you think about it, like the only surviving state or winners. But I won't, I shouldn't say winners, but those who didn't have it that bad. World War One was the British. Everything was still intact, but Europe was just destroyed. And just like you
Well,
said, like, it's a completely whole new world. And not only that, BD, think about like the weapons, like, oh my God, like BD. And I used to think about this. If you were a peasant in Europe and the new technology that was coming in, the Germans, what they were bringing in, the Lufthansa, like
right,
it's like end of the world. Like you like planes shooting down. So little peasants can't handle, like they're serfs, like these
right.
are like serfs working the land. They've never left like their like 6 miles. Imagine like it's like aliens descending. It must have been so terrifying. Like these like peasants seeing like modern warfare.
Oh yeah, with all those big, huge guns that they were
Right.
creating, all
Yeah.
the
All of
warships
that.
that they created, like it was crazy. Listen, the three biggest winners of World War I was the British, the
Number
United
one.
States, and
Number two.
surprisingly, a lot of people don't notice Japan.
And in that order,
Japan was a huge
and
had a
in that
huge benefit
order.
from the end of World War I.
And in that order. That's so true. And in that order. They really
Yeah,
did.
World War I is what
Still
created the
winning.
Japanese empire,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, it did. And they're still winning to this day. And if you look, war is it's a great time for technology.
Right. Well,
It's
necessity is the mother of invention,
Successor's
and
mother.
war always creates invention
Yes, it does. Yeah.
because,
Yes.
human beings always want to think of new ways to kill each other. So
But
war
but
always creates
now,
invention.
but now, okay, so they'll think about it. So you know so much. I mean, you know so much about this history. It does make sense that now we're in a period of calm. Like, like I like to see it as Pax Americana. We're now in a period of calm. So what do we have now? We have sport. We don't want to engage in war. I mean, just think about it, BD. The only reason why Europe has not completely engulfed itself in flames is because of the United States.
Right.
These countries are not really supposed to have a military. There's NATO. Okay,
Right.
don't we'll do it for you because we all know what happens when you all start trying to do things on your own.
Right.
Europe.
Yeah. Y'all kill each other. That's paid. The Germans they still don't want the Germans to have a
No,
regular
they
standing
don't.
army. And
No, they
World War
don't.
II been over for 70 years, 80 years now.
I
And they
know.
still don't want Germany to have a regular standing army like that.
BD, I had a special friend, like a special friend. He's a special friend. And he was born in Germany. He's American. He was born in Germany. And he
Right.
told me that there's like 80,000 American troops stationed in Germany.
Right. At
Numbers.
Bakram Air Base. That's where they're at.
That's huge. BD, 80,000 Americans have to keep the Germans chill. That's a lot. BD. That's a lot of people.
Hey, questions to ponder. You have a question here. L
Yes,
would like to know where your family is from.
they're right here. I just saw my sister. They're right here.
Like
Here.
what state I think he's trying to get
Oh,
at.
oh, oh, I don't like to dox myself, but we're from the South.
Okay.
But I went to school. I went to because of the order that governed my school. I always went to school in like the Northeast. I went to school
Oh,
in,
okay.
yeah.
I
There,
thought you
so
was a Texan. That's what I thought, but
yeah, well, from the South, I'll leave it at that. But I went to only Catholic school, and there was the order is an all girls school. They actually do have a school, and I wouldn't be surprised if you know the high school that I went to. I really wouldn't be surprised, BD, because they do have a school in New York, but it's not in the boroughs. And I went there for a little bit, and then I also went to school in Michigan for a little bit.
I think he wants to know, did your family immigrate here or were y'all already here?
No, my family's here. Here, my family's here.
Okay.
Yeah, they're here. They're here. Shannon, what are you trying to do? Shannon, why
Shan-
don't you focus? Shannon, why don't you focus on that payout? You just retired an OnlyFans model. That's pretty
Right.
incredible. You paid her 10 bills, Shannon.
Yeah, Shannon Sharp is a mess. Like that dude is a
You're
whole
from
mess.
Arkansas. You're from Arkansas. And you went ahead and paid this female, not even 21 years old, 10 bills.
Yeah, he's a mess. And you know what really sucks about the whole Shannon Sharp thing? His brother going to the Football Hall of Fame this year.
Who? Shannon Sharp's
Like,
brother?
yeah, Sterling Sharp. He's going into the Football Hall of Fame this year. Shannon Sharp brother, Sterling. So we're gonna see how that's gonna play out. I'm gonna cover that too, the Hall of Fame stuff for the NFL. That should be real interesting what TV backlash he get because he's the one who's gonna induct his brother. So I'm very curious to
Oh,
see
I
how
didn't
that
know his
plays
brother
out.
like that. His brother paid for Green Bay. I didn't know. I didn't
Yeah,
know.
well, Sterling Sharp was If Sterling Sharp don't get hurt, only Jerry Rice is better than him. In my opinion, Sterling Sharp was that dude. Like Sterling Sharp, he was a bad boy. He was a bad boy. He just played on a bad team. But he was a dominant wide receiver, Sterling Sharp, a dominant one. He wasn't no like just a star or nothing. He was a superstar. He was on Jerry Rice level. He just didn't have the team around him. And then he got hurt, so you really didn't get to see him like go all out like that because he didn't get to play long enough. But the mere fact that he only played 8 years and that he's still going to the Hall of Fame says a lot. But that's another issue.
But isn't please correct me if I'm wrong, isn't the expectation that you play for 12 years or two teams? That's what I read.
Well,
But I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true or
no, the
not.
expectation is that you play at least 10 years. At
That's
least that.
like 10 years. I
It
thought it
don't
was
matter how many teams you play for, just the expectation that most Hall of Famers play at least 10 years. But you have exceptions. Sterling Sharp is the exception. Terrell Davis, if you remember him, he played for the Denver Broncos. He's another exception. You know, it just depends on who you are and how dominant you were. Like Calvin Johnson, they called him Megatron. He used to play for the Detroit Lions. He only played 9 years. But he was so dominant that you could not put him in. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it just depends on how dominant you are. And L, you're very right about that. Sterling Sharp gave everybody problems. And Deion Sanders, he's the GOAT cornerback of all time. But
yes,
he couldn't
is.
guard Sterling Sharp. He
I
couldn't
agree.
cover him. Yeah,
Oh,
Deion couldn't cover Sterling Sharp. He was too big and too strong.
Dion never touched anyone. Dion never
Well,
never put in any like effort like that.
Well,
No,
Deion Sanders was such an athletic freak. He didn't have to put in the effort. Like
no,
he was just so far superior athletically than everybody else. It didn't take much effort for Prime, for
And
real.
if I could tell you, when prime time would run, it was look like the speed. I remember seeing that as like just like as a kid, like just NFL classic, just the speed. And it's one thing, especially being a woman, there's a different appreciation that we have specifically for the NFL
Right.
because, like, my dad's always because my dad loves chess, and he always saw it like as a game of strategy. It's like it really is like gladiator chess. And when you would see Madden, you would see every like all and other commentators. I remember especially like Sunday night and Monday night football. They
Right.
like it's an actual game, not just sport, but a true game of strategy. And one thing with Dion is I always, well, especially when I was younger, I always thought it was his speed on the field that made him superior.
Yeah,
Because he's a
it
quarterback,
was.
he's a corner, he's not defense, he's not gonna like touch anyone, he doesn't want to like hurt himself. That's not
Right.
who he is.
But yeah,
Like,
it was Deion's speed that separated him from everybody else. Like wide receivers had a hard time separating from Deion because Deion was faster than most of the wide receivers that he was playing against at the time. So that's what made him so good is that he cut off an entire half of the field. Like you couldn't even throw at Deion Sanders' direction like that. You couldn't even throw at his direction. That's how dominant he was. He cut off an entire half of the field. And I still haven't seen anybody before or since who could do that. Like Darrell Revis was great. Don't get me wrong. I'm a Darrell Revis fan. I got a Darrell Revis jersey, but he's not Deion. Like Deion is in a class by himself.
if I may ask you, BD, especially speaking about Prime, oh, by the way, just to share with you some fun fact, he had a school. Deion Sanders had a
No,
school.
I didn't know he had a school. Where?
Yeah, he did. He had a school right here. It's good in Dallas. It was called Prime Prep. But they were
Oh,
always,
okay.
yeah, they were always giving him trouble. They were always giving him trouble.
Yeah, but Deion, he that guy. And
Yeah.
I want him to succeed. I root for Colorado just because he's the coach. Not because I care for Colorado, Buffalo's the team. I just root for them because he's the coach.
Well, he's
Deion
definitely,
Sanders is one of my favorite football players of all time. So
yeah, me too. I love that guy. And I met him. I just love him to death. And I met
Yeah,
and I
Prime is
met
that dude.
Pilar, love Prime, met Pilar, and I met his children. And he would support the games because they used to go to my sister's school here, like these private schools. His children attended, and he's
Well,
probably
speaking of
one of
his children, what do you think his children are going to do in the NFL?
Shador. Look, that's the biggest question of all.
Shador and Shiloh.
That is I have been wondering. I was talking to my dad about that because at the end of the day, there's going to be nepotism. Oh well, too bad. It's just going to happen.
Of
People
course
just
it
have
is.
to accept that there's going to be nepotism.
Yeah, of
And
course.
no, you probably are not going to agree with this. Just think about it. Like here's my dream scenario. I do want Dion. I know this will never happen. I don't even think the league would let this happen. The NFL will let this happen. But Dion coaching for the Cowboys, which would make him actually the first black head coach, him be head coach. Head coach.
Well,
Like
didn't Jerry offer him the job last year and he turned it down? I thought
I
he turned down the Cowboy job.
I did well, I heard they were in talks. I heard but that nothing materialized.
Yeah,
Nothing
I think Dion turned it down. He was like he wanted to stay in college. Like he didn't really want to
go professional.
deal with the pros like that. Cause you know the pros are prima donnas now. They make so much money they don't be wanting to listen. Like Dion wanted to teach, and you know the NFL players don't want to learn because they feel like they know everything. So
Oh,
I
that's
think that's why he didn't want to like jump up and go pro because I know the offer was there. I know Jerry Jones offered him the job first before they hired what's his dude name Schottenheimer. I think he's the coach of the Cowboys now. I think
yeah.
Skywalker would know better than me or you. Like I think his name Brian Schottenheimer. I would have to look it up to make sure, but I think he's new coach of the Cowboys, Brian Schottenheimer.
The reason why is the attention. And
Yeah, it's attention and it's ego too. Like you when you're a coach, you want people that's gonna listen, right? You don't want people who's gonna like deviate from the program. You want people who are willing to buy into what you're saying. But nowadays, these players are making so much money, it's become hard to coach them. It's hard to coach somebody who's making 200, $300 million. Like they could pretty much tell you go fuck yourself when you making that kind of money. You know, it's all about buy-in. You got to get the players to buy in to whatever system you trying to run in. But we'll see. You know, I tell Skywalker all the time, fuck the Cowboys, because you know I'm a Giant fan, so it's always going to be fuck the Cowboys for me. But you know, I'm a hater,
don't have
and I'm okay with that.
but like everyone okay, so everybody's very frustrated because Jerry Jones is a micromanager. He is a
He is.
he is a micromanager.
Yeah,
He
he's the NFL's version of George Steinbrenner. That's who Jerry Jones remind me of. He reminds me of George Steinbrenner. If you don't know who that is, he was the owner of the Yankees. George Steinbrenner used to own the New York Yankees.
and he wasn't and Tom Landry didn't like Jerry like that either. Tom
Right.
Landry, yeah. Yeah.
And you know, Tom Landry, people don't even know this about Tom Landry. Tom Landry is the reason why modern football is the way it is now. It was Tom Landry who created the 4-3 defense. It was Tom Landry who invented the shotgun. You understand what I'm saying? Like Tom Landry foot
Say that.
fingerprints is all over modern football.
I learned that in gym class. Like in gym class, like like you do like history. Like I guess we took a history class, and it was basically just Tom Landry.
Yeah,
It
The tenets of Tom Landry is all over modern football. And I think
and
Tom Landry been dead 25 years, 30 years, but people still play
35 years now.
4-3 flex and every team runs a shotgun offense. Every team
And there's a
runs a
highway,
shotgun offense.
and the highway's named after him.
Yep.
So whenever there's like Remembrance Day or his birthday, they do bring up like his playbook, how he has bettered the game, his significance.
Oh
Always
yeah,
go.
listen, I hate the Cowboys, but I'll be honest with you, Tony Dorsett is one of
Yeah.
my favorite football players of all time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Tony Dorsett was my
Well,
guy. And I
because
hate Dallas, but I love Tony Dorsett. Tony Dorsett was my guy.
but then again, that's I mean that particular team in the '90s. But again, think about it.
Well,
That's not.
Dorsett was more the 80s, but
But did he?
he
Oh,
was the 80s guy,
I
not a
saw my
90s guy.
NFL Classic. I saw on NFL Classic. Sorry, my bad. I used to watch that too with my dad. We would watch NFL and NFL Classic, or sorry, ESPN Classic,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
and
Tony Dorsett was that dude, bro. Like, he was that guy.
actually,
I love Tony Dorsett.
he. Wait a minute. Because that's before my time. He did play with Staubach. I did see a
Yeah.
game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he
Tony
did.
Dorsett did play with Roger Staubach. Tony
Oh
Dorsett
my
came
gosh,
to the
that is the
NFL in 1976. That was his rookie year, was 1976. So yeah, he won a Super Bowl with
played
Roger Staubach.
Roger Staubach. Yeah, he did. Oh my goodness. I got myself mixed up. I just like remember. Yes.
Yeah, he
And
wore number 33, Tony
and
Dorsett.
and they would come, yeah, and they would come at
And Roger
remembering
Staubach wore number 12, I believe.
he wore number 12. No, he wore number 12. Yeah, he wore number 12. He wore number 12 for sure. And then I played basketball with his daughter. That's why I do love basketball. His daughter's an amazing player. She was I'm sorry, his granddaughter is an amazing player. She was point guard, and she wore number 12 too.
What position you played?
I was a forward, and then just since I brought up Mr. Staubach, his granddaughter, she was point guard, and she was a really really great athlete. She was a really great player. She was really
What was
good.
your point per game average, Ponder?
I don't know. This is high school. It was football. It was like, and plus we played for like the type of leagues that we play for are not 5A. Like we don't play for like with public schools at all. Like
Oh, okay.
it's a completely different piece.
So
It's a
you was a forward. Were you a 3 or a 4? Were you a small forward or a power forward?
No, I was a power forward, 100%. Yes,
Oh, okay.
I was
So
a
you
power.
must be pretty tall then. Are you close to 6 feet?
No, I'm only 5'10". I'm 5'10", but there were other girls in my school. Like I remember his granddaughter was 5'8", easy, because we would all have to get measured and do like health checks so that we
Right.
could. And then there was one girl, she was 6'1". So we had tall players. We had tall. It's high school. We were all tall.
Okay. Well, 5'10", you pretty tall for a woman.
Yes.
5'10", that's pretty tall.
Yeah. So I definitely played. I definitely played. Yeah.
You know, in New York, we would call you a tree.
No, New York, there's plenty of taller people, but that's kind of the reason why with the WNBA BD, because like well, back then, there wasn't as much support for women's basketball, because I went to a liberal arts college. So like
Right.
I'm like everything is like, if I went to a public school, I would be a completely different reality. I probably would have got, like gotten a scholarship. Like I would have done, because the grades were good, the SATs were good, but there's just more support, because there's just, it's college. And
Right.
believe me, the public schools get the financing. But with men's, every school, like you hear about Gonzaga, you hear about Xavier. These are much smaller schools. These are not state schools. So men's basketball teams, they receive huge, massive funding. Like you're going to see a private school play UConn, but you wouldn't see that for women though. It's like
No,
that doesn't happen.
no, it really don't. Not for the women. No,
So you
it
kind of
really
just
don't.
No, they don't. So you just kind of lose focus, and then you're back to just kind of relegated to just watching it on TV. Like you can't really play. Like that's great to hear. There's better investing with softball, because my sister plays softball. But once you leave high school, unless you go to a public school, UCLA, oh my God, Imperious, look at you.
Right. I'm very surprised to see Imperious.
Imperious.
I'm surprised. You just blew my mind. I never think I would see you in my life. But
Yeah,
I
Imperious.
appreciate you coming, Imperious. I do.
The Vatican
And
assassin himself.
right, the
Imperious.
Vatican. But in terms of UCLA is the greatest college basketball program ever. Probably next to
Ever.
Duke.
No,
Next
oh,
to
Duke
Duke.
is a great school. Duke is a
You
great
you have
school.
UCLA, Duke, North Carolina, Kansas, Kentucky, right?
That's the
Those are the five main college basketball blue bloods. But UCLA had the best run Out of all those schools, UCLA by far had the best run from the
And baby,
early 60s to
Mary,
from the early 60s to early 70s. UCLA, between Lou Alcindor and Bill Walton, and they won like 90 straight games or something like that. What? Hulk Hogan died? What? That, hold on, wait. That didn't come in my feed yet, Skywalker. I'm gonna check that out as soon as I get off here. Okay, Mama, I'm coming. Wow, Hulk Hogan died. Wow. That is huge. That is huge. Like Hulk Hogan, like he's a cultural icon now. Do I agree with him politically? No, but yeah, he was a cultural icon. Hulk Hogan. Like Hulk Hogan is the reason why wrestling is what it is now. Wow. I'm sorry, Ponda. I didn't mean to cut you off, but yeah, that threw me off.
that oh my, that is like that's like people's childhood. That
Yeah,
that
that.
that that's a lot. That's people's childhood right there. That's a lot.
Wow.
He started the whole and
Wow.
that WWF,
Wow.
WWE,
Yeah. I mean,
and
Hulk Hogan
Hulk
wasn't the
Hogan the baby.
greatest wrestler, but if you're insane to think that Hulk Hogan didn't create modern wrestling. Like Hulk Hogan is modern wrestling. He's the foundation of what modern wrestling is today.
The entertainment aspect, like there wouldn't be the like so Hulk Hogan basically crawled so The Rock could walk. Because The
Basically.
Rock
Yeah.
would never, and not also John Cena.
Steve Austin, all of them.
Oh yeah,
Anybody that
and that
anybody who's wrestling today has Hulk Hogan to thank. You don't have a Rock, you don't have a Stone Cold, you don't have a Triple H, you don't have any of those people without Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan is the foundation of modern wrestling. Period. And there's no it's him and Ric Flair basically. Those are the two people who are the foundation of modern wrestling, what we see it today. Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair.
Edie, thank you so much for being so cool with the WNBA. Thank you.
For sure. 1 second, y'all. Yeah, I'm crazy. That's crazy. Hulk Hogan. Wow. 1 second, y'all. Skywalker, what's this link you got up here? What's this? Tell me what that is, Skywalker, 'cause I don't know what that is. Oh, that's the link for the Hulk Hogan thing. Oh yeah, Yeti, tell me what your other question was, and I'll try to answer it for you. If you could repeat it in the chat, let me see it, and I'll try my best to answer it for you. But yeah, that just threw me all the way back. Hulk Hogan dead at 71. That is crazy work. Like, that's crazy work right there. But yeah, I can't check this link while I'm on here. I'm gonna have to do it when I get off. But yeah, that's crazy. Hulk Hogan dead at 71. Man, that's huge. That is huge. Yeah, that is huge. Hey, Imperious, you could come up here, man. You could tell me what you think about the Hulkster. I would love to hear your opinion on that because, a lot of us grew up watching wrestling, and Hulk Hogan, he was wrestling.
Yes, Imperious should come up. And did you hear what he said? Imperious even goes to WNBA games as
Right.
well.
Ain't that something? He's the last person I would ever think would go to a WNBA game. Is Imperious.
So awesome. It's so, and you know why it's important, BD? Not just having professional sports for women. And Joel Silver, so the NBA commissioner, he made it very clear that they are going to show support
It's
towards.
Adam Silver, AI.
Yeah, that is
Adam
Joel
Silver.
Silver.
Adam
I'm calling
Silver.
him Joel Silver. My bad.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
Adam
Adam
Silver,
Silver.
NBA, Adam Silver, NBA commissioner. I mean, the bald dude, because I've been hearing this forever that he really, really wants to support at WNBA. And what you said, BD, really makes sense because it's good for the brand. It's good for the NBA brand to go ahead and just basically swallow or just take in the debt of the WNBA. But
Right.
one of the benefits of the WNBA is that women do need to see team sport. Basketball is not contact. In that way, women we can't. There's no such thing as a like a women football team.
No,
There's not going to
but not for nothing, AI. They about to have flag football for the women too, and it's going to be an Olympic sport, flag football. But I'm just putting that out there in case you didn't know. Let me see if I can answer Yeti's question. He says, since 2000, older coaches have taken over, winning 43.3% of NFL titles, a massive jump from just 6.1 before. From 1967 to 1999, coaches in their 40s won nearly 2/3 of NFL championships. I will have to look into that, Yeti. I would have to research that to give you a better answer. You got to forgive me. Like I'm still tripping on the whole Hulk Hogan thing. Yeah, the Hulk Hogan thing just threw me all the way off.
Oh, also BD, I'll go because my Mac's about to die. I just want to say one of the reasons why the WNBA is really important is just so women so that we can know how success in a team. That's why I really, really do support the WNBA and just letting young girls see what it means to just practice and
Right.
win as a team. Like
Well,
and
AI,
loss.
I'm gonna keep it perfectly funky for you. Like I've always been a fan of women's sports, but I'm even more of a fan now because I have a daughter that's
Right.
interested in
Yeah.
women's sports, and especially she's an Angel Reese fan. So it just made my thing more trying to teach her about the thing. So it's pretty cool. Women athletics is what's up. We need more of it. They made Title IX for a reason. That's the whole reason why we have women athletics in this country in the first place. It's called Title IX. Title IX was a big, huge deal. And it gave women the opportunity to play sports. So we could thank Lyndon Johnson for that, for Title IX, and giving women the opportunity to even compete against each other in sports, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, it's really, really great. And I know there's been some issues with Title IX with like LGBT and everything.
Right.
But Title IX really is such a necessity. There's no other avenue where women can continue and pursue past high school.
No, there really isn't.
Yeah, and
There
all that
really isn't.
really is the W, and it's like 25 years old. So it is good that the NBA shows support towards this particular league. Oh, and on an unrelated note, but I do want to bring it up. I heard about what happened at that club. Those girls that couldn't get in.
Oh
Mm.
yeah, the stud bud thing. Yeah, they wouldn't let them in because again, they're not Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, and that's why they got stopped at the door. Like, who are you? I thought it was hilarious, but they were
Oh,
they were hot behind that.
they were chewing like floss, those floss pickers, and they looked a little bit, not dressed. There was
They call that group the stud buds, and I have my own take on that. I don't think that stud. I don't care for that stud bud thing. Like I think that shit is stupid. Like the W. I- How I put this without being offensive. Uh, the main audience for the WNBA are heterosexual men. And heterosexual men don't want to look at a bunch of manly looking stud running around. I don't care what they doing. You understand what I'm saying? Don't no man want to look at a stud just running around. I don't care what they doing. That stud could be dunking and all that. And it still would be a turn off. Men need to see something, need to have something to look at. Now, it would be different if women supported women's sports, but typically women don't support women's sports. It's the men that support women's sports.
BD,
So
that's true. And that's why I'm kind of hearing some pushback is that the WNBA, just to kind of balance everything out, that it's very LGBT.
it
There's a lot
is. And
of
it's been
studies
that
that,
way for years.
oh, maybe that's the turnoff. Because women want women that they can relate to. And a lot of women, they don't like like the stud buddy women. They're not, just because you're athletic doesn't mean that you're not feminine and that you
Right.
don't like them.
Right. I
So
mean,
women,
listen,
we
a,
can
a,
relate.
a a man would deal with a feminine stud, right? A feminine stud, a fem stud that looks like a lady and acts like a lady. A man would be able to deal with that. But a man is not going to deal with somebody like a Brittany Griner type stud. You
Oh,
know,
BD, I want to talk to you about Brittany Griner. Brittany Griner, number one, is a woman. She is a woman.
yeah,
Brittany
she is a
Griner,
woman.
she's a woman. She went to Nimitz High School in Irving, Texas.
And she
She's a
went to
woman.
Baylor for
And
college.
she went to Baylor. She went to Baylor. She is a woman. I don't want to say how I know, but that is full woman there. She's
Yeah,
nothing.
she's definitely a woman,
She's
but
a
she
woman.
wants to be a man. That's the issue.
But that's how they are. They're mean. And there's no such thing as a feminine stud. That is an oxymoron. They're all
Okay,
very
explain
like
explain that to me because I never like understood the whole stud thing, like a femme and a masculine. Like maybe you would
they're just
know
mean.
better than me.
They're mean girls. They're very, very they're very, what's the word? Like force. Okay, no, like they're very like forward. That's what I want to say. They're very, very forward. They hit on you like men. And
Right.
then on top of that, like you can't even like because it's still a girl, like, so you want to be cool with her. Like hell, be polite. But oh my gosh, no, like girl, get away. They are mean, mean. They are hella jealous over
Hmm.
you cannot even just be happy. They want to turn you into looking like stud muffin. They're just
Right.
they
It's
no,
crazy. And they
like
think that sells. Like that doesn't sell to a heterosexual audience. It just doesn't. Just to answer
no.
Imperious question, you must be referring to Sophie Cunningham. And yeah, Sophie Cunningham is pretty hot. I'm not going to even hold you. She's pretty hot. I agree with you with that. Sophie
Is she a
Cunningham is
starter?
hot.
Is she a starter too?
No, Sophie Cunningham, she plays for the Indiana Fever and she comes off the bench.
Oh, okay. Okay. And I
No,
mean,
she's not a starter, but she is pretty hot. I will give her that. She's not ugly.
Because sometimes BD, like the stud muffins, there always seems to be the starting. They always seem to start. I've
Well,
just noticed.
they made a lot of noise to stud the whole stud bud thing during the WNBA All Star game. They were partying and dancing and grinding on each other and all that other stuff, which is fine. I'm all for people partying and having a good time, but you ain't have to post it.
And
We
they
don't
don't know
need to look at it.
boundaries. And they don't know boundaries like that. Just because you're a woman doesn't mean that you start grabbing other women and like, like not understanding. Like they're very mean and forward. And the jealousy, BD, that's what I've heard, that a lot of like men are kind of worried about having their daughters be more active in basketball because it's kind of a little bit too on the rainbow happy side.
Right.
Like,
Well, the issue I've run into, having a daughter, my colleagues at work, they've had the same issue. They don't want to bring their daughters to the game because they don't want to expose their daughters to to that, to the whole stud stuff. They don't want to expose their daughters to that. And they don't want to have to explain like, why is this woman with another woman? It's
yeah,
hard trying to explain that to a little girl that's 10 and 11 years old, trying to explain the nature of sexuality. You know what I
you know,
mean? Like,
yeah, I do know
yes,
what
I follow soccer. I watch La Liga. I watch Barclays. I really don't do MLS like that because MLS is whack. But Barclays and La Liga, yes, I do watch both of those in periods.
when
And And
like
Eric, what's good with you, brother? Salute to you, bro. Thank you for coming. I appreciate that. And for all y'all that's in here, like, sub, share, hit the Cash App. I appreciate any donations, you know what I mean? And I appreciate just all of y'all being here. I really appreciate this. This is the first time I've ever really been live. I think the second time I've ever been live this long. So
leaving,
I
and you got
appreciate
a
this.
serious bag. Look at how awesome. You got only EBD. Well, he's a sports fanatic too. That's why.
Well, he likes Chelsea. See, me, I like Manchester United. But
Yeah.
that's just me.
Have you ever
You
seen
know,
Bayern Munich play? They
who?
used to play. By there's like German team. And Paige, you know what I'm talking about? Bayern Munich,
Yeah. I know Byron Munich is. Yeah, that's the German squad.
the German
Yeah.
team. Yeah, they're a good team too.
Yeah,
They're a good team.
Wayland was playing for them. By Bayern Munich. He's in
See,
the
just
Premier League now, though.
to be a little
You
messy. And I know Imperius heard about what happened outside the club. Imperius heard about it, and he laughed. And Imperius laughed. But those super stud muffins, they were chewing floss picks. Like they were not ladylike. Like they came in there, with like straws, like Noelle, and like the purple
right,
hair, and you're not looking cute. You gotta look cute for the club. You can't just get into the club or wait in line and pay. You gotta
right.
wait in line and pay. You can't just be
And
letting
plus, they
Angel.
not as famous as they think they are. You know what I mean? Now, if you would have came into the club, if you'd have had Angel Reese or Caitlin Clark with you, you wouldn't have had no problem. But you tried to go into the club alone like you a star, and you not a star. And thank you, Imperius, for the Cash App, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate that so much. You don't even know. Thank you so much, Imperius, for the Cash App.
Oh no, when we do these words panels. Oh my gosh. Oh, let me get back to work. Oh, do another live and I'll keep it. Oh, and we all like just sports. How awesome. Yeah, to do a sports panel. And then you can have another live that's a little bit more focused on history.
Oh
Just
yeah, I
for
mean, my
like
my
little
my, my
sports.
panels are gonna be majority sports, but I'm gonna throw some politics in there. I'm gonna
You
throw
gotta
some history in there.
know some
Like,
history, especially the military, because that's like, that's a big deal. And so many of us really, really study it. And that's it's so important that we talk about that. That's so awesome. You know so much about that particular that era is so imperative, BD. That's so awesome. You know so much about it.
well,
But
because that era, especially World War I, it was very important. It shaped the modern world. People
yeah,
think World War II shaped the modern
no,
world, but it
no,
was
it's
really
World
World War I
It's
that
really World
shaped the
War
modern
One.
world.
And there is no World War II. World War II is World War I Part Two. It's
Right.
all World War One. Even now is World War One. It's all like that's just what we're going through. It is. It's
And Imperious, you spot on with this statement. Sports is intertwined with politics and history. You damn right it is.
that's
You
probably
you
why you
need
know
all
so
three of them. They were all work in unison.
yeah,
They
that's
sure
probably why you
do.
know so much, BD. Just like when Period said, that's probably why how you know so much. Because you know a lot about sports, but you know a lot about history. It all
Well,
yeah,
yeah,
just like the
World War
past.
One was some deep stuff, like the whole assassination of the Archduke Ferdinand in
Yeah.
Austria set off all this chain reaction. You know, World War One was really a chain reaction of events. It was the assassination of the Archduke Ferdinand, and
But
then
you
you
can
had the
even
sinking
back
of the
then.
Lusitania. Like it
Lusitania.
was a whole bunch of stuff. It
Hell
was a whole
yeah.
bunch of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. That's another, yeah, nobody really brings up that as well. The Lusitania sinking right before the Titanic. And
Right.
even you've heard a lot of stories. Like, I don't know if like it maybe it's more like myth and legend, but who was on the Titanic at that time? Who was on Lusitania at that time? And then
Right.
even before World War One, there was still the Franco-Prussian War.
Yep.
Nietzsche fought in that war. So it's just like you said, a series of events. And it just goes all the way back to 1,000 years, in my opinion. No, actually, I know Imperius, especially, I'm so glad he's in the chat. I know he may disagree with me on this, but Imperius, I think, I know you're not going to agree with me, Imperius, but I'm kind of thinking, in my opinion, the Reformation. You bring in the Reformation, you start dividing Europe, they start fighting. But these are just my opinions. I have supporting material, but I know Imperius is probably going to disagree with me. But
You
it's
know
just my
what? I would love to hear you and Imperious debate about the Reformation because that's a whole nother conversation. That shit there. That's an
oh
entirely different conversation. I mean, it coincides to the World War One stuff, but it's a different conversation. That
BD.
is it's a
Don't tell
different
me to get
conversation.
ready. I'm gonna get ready. You start
Yeah,
putting
I
my
would
notes.
love to hear y'all two debate that the Reformation
Ooh,
stuff.
oh, that's gonna be
And yeah,
good.
Jack Johnson, Shoeless Joe. A lot of people don't know anything about them. You know, speaking of Shoeless Joe, you know they just reinstated him this year, Major League Baseball. They reinstated him and Pete Rose. He says the end of everything was
That's
the
the French
French
Revolution.
Revolution.
Yeah, he's right. That's a good point because that was the beginning. Once they
Yeah.
kicked off their monarchy, it just started, yeah, it started breaking up. But imperials go even further back. If you, going away from the church was enough to start getting the French thinking about removing themselves of the monarchy. So you have the
Speak.
Reformation, and then the French, the monarchy, which is Catholic, Imperius knows that. Catholic, you go to the Reformation, you start putting those bugs in people's ear. But Imperius is correct though. 1789, the French Revolution. Oh yeah, just like it was just like a hornet's nest, and then World War One. Yeah, he's right. Yeah, because that's like then 120 years later, give or take, then you have the World War One. Yeah, it didn't even take long.
No. And Imperious, I agree with you. Charlie Hustle should have been put in the Hall of Fame while he was alive. I agree with that, but I knew that they never was gonna do that while he was alive. I knew they was gonna put him in once he died. They were waiting for him to die. You know what I mean? They wasn't trying to do that while he was alive. They wasn't trying to give Pete Rose that satisfaction of getting him in the Hall of Fame while he was alive. I think that was his real punishment, that they were purposely waited for him to die to reinstate him. They purposely did that. That's just my personal opinion, that it was a personal thing. Now, this conversation I will have to read up more on because I'm not going to even hold you. I'm not a Catholic scholar. So
Oh yeah,
I will have to sit
we're gonna
back
have
and
a little live. It's gonna be so awesome. You're gonna nerd out. Oh my god, Imperial. I
yeah,
know he's gonna
I would love to learn about it though.
he's
I
so
would
gonna
love
come.
to hear you. I would just sit back and just let go on mute and just let you and Imperius have at it.
He's gonna go
Because
execrate. He's had this like the back of his head probably for like 20 years. Like Imperius knows this stuff like nobody's business. He knows
but
this
yeah,
stuff.
I would love to learn more about the Reformation. I know a little bit about it, you know what I mean, but I'm no expert, so that's why I really haven't spoken on it like that in depth because I don't really know that much about it. I will have to read more.
We can have a live about that. Yeah. Okay, BD, that sounds like a great idea. Oh, how awesome. I will chat with you later. You got like get my brain going. I gotta get back to work, but I'm definitely liking the Reformation Live. This is good stuff.
And thank you, AI, for coming on the panel. I appreciate you for that.
Oh my goodness gracious. I am
I had a good time talking to you, AI.
Bye, BD. AI.
Thank you. And yeah, the Hulk Hogan stuff, that blew my mind just now. Like, wow. I can imagine. I think SmackDown comes on Friday. I can imagine what that SmackDown is going to be like now. Now I'm going to make sure I watch it. You know, typically I don't watch a whole bunch of wrestling like that, but I'm definitely going to watch SmackDown now on Friday because that's huge. Hulk Hogan passing away. That is huge. And in fact, Skywalker sent me the link, but I can't pull it up while on my phone while I'm live. But I'm definitely gonna like look into that. Like, wow, Hulk Hogan dead at 71. That's crazy work. And Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair are the foundation of modern professional wrestling. Like Andre the Giant was the first real famous wrestler, right? Andre the Giant, Bruno Sammartino. I know you guys might not know these names because y'all not as old as I am, but Andre the Giant and Bruno Sammartino, they're like old school wrestling before wrestling became sports entertainment. It was Andre the Giant, it was Bruno Sammartino, it was Bob Backlund, it was superstar Billy Graham. You know what I mean? It was people like that when wrestling was wrestling. You know, Buddy Rogers and people like that, Dick the Bruiser, and you know, folks like that. That's when wrestling was wrestling. You know what I mean? In the 70s. But Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, those two men were the foundation of modern professional wrestling. And yeah, Imperious, I could go with that Mount Rushmore, Hogan, Flair, San Martino, and Andre. That's a really good Mount Rushmore. People don't know about Bruno Sammartino like that, but Bruno Sammartino is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Like he was the champion for like 10 years straight. Yeah, Rick Rude was my guy. I ain't really care for Superfly Snooker, but Rick Rude, that was my guy. Oh yeah, of course, Dusty Rose. You know what I mean? Dusty Rose, Harley Race, Devon Ericks, you know, the Freebirds, the Road Warriors, the Midnight Express, the Rock and Roll Express. You know, let's not leave out the NWO and DX and all that. I mean, wrestling has come a very long way, but Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair laid the foundation for all of that to occur. You don't have any of that without Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair. Like, I don't agree with Hulk Hogan politically, but in a wrestling sense, yeah, Hulk Hogan, he's the foundation of modern wrestling, him and Ric Flair. You don't have modern wrestling without those two gentlemen. So Hulk Hogan passing away, that's a big, huge deal. That's a huge deal. That's huge. I think it's so huge that CT might even talk about that for real. I think that might even be a topic on CT panel, Hulk Hogan dying, because that is a big, huge deal. That's huge. Yeah, I know I might sound, you know, like I'm glazing, but y'all don't even understand how huge a deal what that is. Like, that is a huge, huge, huge deal. And yes, Imperious, I agree with you. Ric Flair's the greatest promo cutter ever. Yeah, absolutely. I used to watch the Memphis wrestling with Billy Graham. Matter of fact, The Undertaker came from Memphis wrestling. Jerry the King Lawler, right? Right? Um, Eddie Graham. Like I know my wrestling, badass. You'd be surprised. I know my wrestling. I know my sports in general, but my wrestling, I know my wrestling. Yeah, I wasn't a kid in the 90s. I was a teenager in the 90s. I'm pretty old, man. Yeah, Jimmy Hart, Brutus Beefcake, Greg Valentine, the British Bulldogs, you know what I mean? Mill Masochist. I watched all of that growing up, man. All of that. Like I go deep into the wrestling. I remember Power and Glory. I remember the Killer Bees. Yes, of course I remember the Macho Man. Who don't remember the Macho Man? I remember Ricky Steamboat and definitely the Road Warriors is by far the greatest tag team ever in professional wrestling. There will never be another team like the Legion of Doom. And if I had a Mount Rushmore of tag teams, it will go like this. It would be the Road Warriors, it would be the Steiner Brothers, it would be the Rock and Roll Express, and it would be the Midnight Express. That would be my Mount Rushmore of tag teams. But yeah, Sid Vicious, Billy Dundee, Junkyard Dog, Jerry the King Lawler, Eddie Graham. Like I was so into I used to watch the old UWF. That's where Sting came from. Sting, the Ultimate Warrior, the Fantastics, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. All those people came from the UWF. That's where they started. I watched World Class too with the Von Erichs and the Freebirds. And yeah, I watched a lot of that stuff, man. I watched a lot of that stuff. Like the dude who invented the super kick, he came out of World Class. His name escapes me. Yeah, of course I remember Ron Simmons. I remember Ernie Ladd too. The big cat. He was like the first real big black wrestler like that. The big cat, Ernie Ladd, and Rocky Johnson, Tony Atlas. Like I could take it all the way back with y'all. Like I'm a wrestling head and I know my history. So yeah, absolutely. I could take it all the way back. I could talk about wrestling. Like I could talk about wrestling. I could have a whole conversation about wrestling. Like as a kid, I was a wrestling fanatic. I was a fanatic. And yes, Tony Atlas was an animal. Matter of fact, him and Rocky Johnson, they were a tag team. They were called the Soul Patrol. Yeah, right. And for those who don't know who Rocky Johnson is, he is The Rock's father, Dwayne Johnson's father. No, they're not going to do that. They're not going to boo. Typically, people don't get booed at their funerals. Typically. Skywalker, what's going on with you, brother? You on mute, sir. Okay, he's going to come back in. Yeah, we used to wrestle with backyard as kids too. Yeah, we used boxes as tables. We used to jump through tables. Like we used to have fake cage matches in the swimming pool and all type of stuff. Like it was crazy. Like we used to act. We wanted to be wrestlers as little kids. All of us did. Like in New York, we used to have sandboxes that we were wrestling. We would have fake steel cage matches and all type of stuff. Like yeah, wrestling was a big, huge thing for me growing up in the 80s. Like wrestling was a big, huge thing. Chris Adams, that's who I'm thinking of. He's the dude that invented what we call the super kick, or what Shawn Michael coined the sweet chin music. Chris Adams was the first person to pull that move off in professional wrestling. His name was the Gentleman, Chris Adams. Yeah, he's the person who invented Shawn Michaels' finisher, the super kick or the sweet chin music. Yeah, that was Chris Adams who invented that move. Yeah, we used to do that too, Imperious in New York. Like use boxes as tables. We were using tables as tables. We were using, old tires as props, jumping off of those and all that. Yeah, Hulk Hogan just died. Yeah, that is big. Like that's so big you might even hear that on CT panel for real. And again, thank all of y'all for coming. I appreciate all the support. This has really warmed my heart. I'm at 100 subscribers. I'm very proud of that. And I'm gonna keep coming on here and I'm gonna keep doing this, man. Like this is gonna be a thing. And I just hope all y'all come for the ride, man. I appreciate all the support. Like, share, sub, hit the Cash App if you can. And I appreciate everything and everybody for coming, man. I appreciate it for real. Skywalker, what's up, buddy?
What's up, man? Why you don't believe me that the man died?
I'm sorry.
I said you didn't
I'm
believe me that the man died.
no. I believed you. It just took me aback
Oh, okay.
because
I'm still
I'm a
chilling.
big, huge wrestling
Yeah,
fan, so that kind of like was a shot to my system. You know what I mean?
yeah. He
Like
died
I
like
was a
an
huge
hour
Hulk Hogan
ago
fan.
in Clearwater.
Yeah, I was a huge Hulk Hogan fan, so that kind of like took me aback. Like, wow,
Yeah,
not Hulk
I
Hogan.
just yeah.
Yeah, that
I
took
just
me aback.
bullshitting with
I'm
you. I
not
was just
gonna lie.
looking. Yeah, I was just looking right,
Yeah,
and Benny Johnson stream popped up, and I seen that he died. And then when I looked it up, it said it died like at the time it was like 25 minutes ago. Right, like now it's been about an hour.
and Imperious, to your point, yeah, Ric Flair is gonna be next because his health, he is in bad shape health wise, and for all the
But
stuff Ric Flair did to his body, I'm surprised he's lasted this long. For real. Yeah, Ric Flair
look at
had
look at all the
cancer.
people who look at all the people who's dying. Ozzy just
Yeah,
died. All these other people just died. Now you got Ric Flair. Or you got Hope.
Hulk Hogan. Yeah, Ric Flair just hanging on
Yeah.
by a thread right now, but he's still hanging on. Ric
Hmm.
Flair was older than Hulk Hogan too. I think Ric Flair's 77, and I'm surprised Ric Flair, didn't die much earlier, considering all of the stuff he's done to his body. Like Hulk Hogan was never a drinker and a smoker. Like Ric Flair was a partier. Like Ric Flair was drinking every night.
Yeah.
So I'm really
Yeah.
surprised that Ric Flair has lasted as long as he has,
Well,
considering.
listen. You need to do this. Listen to me. You need to do this, right? You need to go. You need to end the live and start another one and find some shit to talk about because what's the name ain't going on today. And you need to put in the
Oh,
Discord so you can have some people come in.
Hulk Hogan. CT not going on today.
I don't think so. I don't know. He ain't did it yet, so he might not. You usually on by now.
Oh yeah,
But
Moxie, I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm
yeah,
surprised. I'm
what I was
surprised
gonna do,
myself
I was
that I'm
gonna tell
still here.
you.
But yeah,
What I
Skywalker,
was
if
gonna do, I was
CT
gonna
don't
tell
go
you
on, I
the
might just
W.
take that
Hold up.
advice
I ain't,
and I might just make me a thumbnail and discuss about that because yeah, that Hulk Hogan, that's a
yeah.
big, huge deal. That's a huge deal.
I can't. I ain't. You hear me? I ain't got much time. I was just gonna tell you that y'all know. Okay, it's a good thing that they're doing the WNBA, but everybody knows the WNBA is trash. If it wasn't for the WNBA, they would have to be paying. They're not worth what they're getting paid, so they need to stop crying. Once they start bringing in people and then making the revenue that they are, then they can talk about what they're worth. But right now, they're not worth. They got high schoolers that are worth more than them. You know what I mean?
Okay, hey Skywalker, let me ask you a question. Do you
Yeah.
think Caitlin Clark should get paid more than the rest of the women in the W?
No, because she's a rookie. She's already getting paid off her endorsements. Off her endorsements and the WNBA, if they make endorsements, that's different. When I'm talking, that's just like what we talking about California. Oh, California got the most money. Yes, by the people that live there, but not the state. You know what I mean? Does that make
Yes.
sense? So that's what the
Yes. Timothy
WNBA,
Jones,
the
welcome.
players, the players got the money, but the WNBA doesn't. So what's the deal? What's the use? You see what I mean? Of course, the
Right.
WNBA women They're gonna have money, but they're not gonna get it from the WNBA because it's trash. They just the lowest amount of money they had to pay was last year, $50 million, right?
Well, that's how much they lost. They lost
That's
about
how much
$40 million, but they
they
made
it
they
was
brung in
$50 million.
$200 million of revenue.
They
The W
listen.
last year
How can you bring in something and still owe? That means
because they're
that you
spending
didn't
more
bring
than
in
what
nothing.
they're bringing in. That's the issue.
Okay,
They're
so
just
that way
spending more
that's
than what they're
so
bringing
listen,
in.
it all then you know what I'm talking about because it all equates together. It all equals out to the together, right? No, they're spending more than what they're bringing in, so therefore they have to bring in more money so they can catch up with the spending.
Right.
I understand what you're saying, but they ain't making no money. Two hundred
Economics
million dollars
101.
compared to two
Yeah,
hundred million
that
dollars
part,
compared to
Timothy.
listen, $200 million compared to 15 billion the NBA. You see the difference? And then they got the nerve
Yeah.
to wear them damn shirts talking about pay us what you are getting paid. You're getting paid more than what you owe. In all
You
reality,
actually owe. You actually owe.
yeah,
You wouldn't be
you owe
paid.
you owe the public. You should give the public free tickets and have them come in there and watch the shit for free.
Well, that's not gonna happen. One
But
That's
second, y'all.
part of
Let
the
me cut
problem.
this pizza for my baby. But y'all go
That's
but
ahead.
part.
I'm still right here. I'm not on mute.
n-
I just had to
I,
turn the camera.
if you still on in about 20 30 minutes, I'll hit you back up. But that's all I had to say. And Giants are trash, and I'll holler at you later.
You know what? I'm gonna have to throw you off now. Now you got to get up out. Yeah, you better have got up out of here talking about my damn Giants. Timothy, man, what's going on, brother?
BD, they
What you
should be
got going
playing.
on this afternoon?
I'm in between some meetings, but I saw you was talking some sports and I saw pro wrestling and all this and that. And I said, I got to jump up here. But listen, they should be playing in high school gyms, man, for what they bring in. I mean, a big Texas high school gym to be fair, but they don't bring in enough money. It's economics 101.
Yeah, it is economics. If you're not bringing in the money and you're spending more money than what you're bringing in, that's not a successful business model. But like I try to explain to people, it's more about the brand than anything else. The NBA is not going to let the WNBA fail simply because it's directly attached to the NBA, and it would be bad look on the NBA. The NBA is not trying to hurt its brand by allowing the WNBA to fail. That's why they keep supporting the WNBA because it's a part of the NBA brand. They
Caitlin Clark is the
coincide with
brand.
each other.
Caitlin Clark is the brand. That's the brand.
How many WNBA games have you watched, Mr. Timothy?
I've been to 7 WNBA games, 2 playoff games when I lived in Phoenix when Tarasi was playing.
Oh, okay. So you got to watch Diana Taurasi. That's
Yes,
pretty dope,
sir.
man, because you know that Phoenix team, that
They were legit.
2009 Phoenix team, that was a legit team, bro. Like that
No,
Diana
no,
Taurasi,
the
Gawana Bonner
2014,
team.
the 2014 team. They won it then too. 13 or 14. I could be wrong about my
There's two
dates,
that
but
they won two titles. It's 2009 and 2013. But
that was the
both
one I
those
went to.
teams were really
13.
good.
I
Yeah,
went
both those
to
teams were really good.
I went to the closeout game to the Western Conference Finals when they put their Western Conference banner up, and Tarasi hit a half court shot that game. But here's the
Right.
problem with that. You know how I got those tickets? Going to Ralph's, I got them for free because I spent over $50 on groceries.
Really? And they were just giving the tickets away?
Bro, that was their whole marketing scheme. So they had Albertsons and Ralph's out west. There's 2 grocery stores. If you
Okay.
spend over $50 on groceries, they were subsidizing the tickets through grocery stores.
Are they still doing that today, or was that just for back then?
I don't know because I haven't been to a game since then, but I remember, and I swear to God, when you get your receipt, the ticket was on the receipt that printed out from self-checkout.
Wow, that's very interesting because you know when I
Crazy.
was in New York, they never were they it was very rare that they gave out Liberty tickets for free. Like they would give them out on a discount, you would pay maybe 25, $30, but very, very rarely would you get a free ticket.
Oh,
Like,
man. The subsidies of the WNBA could be studied. It's the same as so are you familiar with the MMA world?
yeah, absolutely.
So you know who one championship is then, right?
Yes.
So just to give you it's kind of the same. They're still considered a startup company. They're subsidized by countries. So in other words, Japan and Singapore, they'll pay them a certain amount of dollars to just hold events in their country, and they don't have a pay-per-view platform, and they get sponsored for their arena. So they haven't made any money. They've been in the red every year. One championship just does a round of investment every time they need money, and then they pay the fighters, and then they just hope that another round of investment comes. They've never made any money. They're the same as WNBA. Their whole goal is to compete with the UFC. And how they
Right.
do it, they consider themselves winning because they get all those Asia viewers, because there's a couple billion people in China. So, I mean, it's the same thing. It's economics 101. You're either profitable or you're not. You know what I mean?
Right. This is true, and I do understand that the WNBA, especially with this current CBA that they're trying to negotiate, they're gonna have a real struggle. And I've been trying to tell folks they need to have Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese in the room, just them two. Take all the other ladies out and just have them two ladies in the room, and maybe you might be able to get somewhere.
No, they won't.
Maybe.
People are afraid of lesbians. No, they won't. No, they won't.
Well, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, they're straight women.
It doesn't
That's what I'm
matter.
saying. They
It
need
doesn't
to have
matter.
them in
The
the room.
majority of the league is lesbians. It doesn't matter. Everybody's afraid of them. They're going to bend and they're going to give them what they want, and it's going to be at a loss. And they're going to say it was a victory. We got what we wanted, and the NBA is just going to pay for it. I'm telling you, you can already see it's going to happen. They even told Draymond, Lisa pretty much, or Candace told him, what was it, a couple years ago? You need to be giving us more. And he sat there and was upset about it. And he had every right to be.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was a big, huge thing. Him and Lisa Leslie was arguing when she was talking about they need more money, and Draymond was like, "You can't. You got to be shitting me. Like, how y'all need more money? Y'all not even making any money." Yeah, I remember that was on Draymond podcast. I think that was last year.
But BD, make it make sense. When Ice Cube first presented the Big Three, one of the ideas was, like, you're familiar with golf. They have the PGA and the senior PGA. He wanted
Yes,
to make the Big Three like the senior NBA, where guys that aren't at the NBA level for contracts go and play there and this and that. Adam Silver didn't want to really, and I was like, that's crazy. Now that they just sold their second team for almost $12 million, and these guys make about $120 million a year for the league. It's crazy.
right. And you know what? The Big Three has actually been pretty successful.
It has,
Give
from the
IQ a
moment
lot
it
of
started.
credit.
From the moment it
Give them some
started.
credit. Yeah, give them some credit. The Big Three has actually been very, very successful. And I think the Unrivaled followed the same Big Three model, and they were pretty successful too in their first year. They
And
they
overtime
actually made a
basketball.
profit.
And
Yeah, but
overtime
they made a
basketball, the high
profit though.
school league.
Yeah, they still were able to
League
make
is
a
going
profit
crazy.
though.
Yeah.
But guys,
You got to know
no,
your
go ahead,
market.
Tim.
You got to know your market, because I watched overtime basketball on Amazon Prime with those high school kids. Like, they pretty much just take the best high school players in the country that don't want to play in public schools or private schools and have them in that super league. That's making money too. So there's ways to do it,
Oh yeah, there is. And everybody, again, not my to interrupt, but like, share, subscribe, hit the Cash App if you can. I appreciate all of y'all support. I got to get off of here now because my phone dying, but I might come back on here in like an hour, but I'm gonna be on my computer instead.
All
Again,
right,
Timothy, thank you for
one
coming
last
on the
thing.
panel.
Hey,
Yeah,
one
come
last
on
thing.
with it.
You forgot the Heart Foundation on your list
I
of
did.
tag
I
teams.
did. I did forget the Hart Foundation. They are one of the greatest tag teams of all time, and Bret Hart is easily top 5 wrestler of all time. Bret
That's
Hart
my
was
guy.
that dude. Yeah, the
That's my
Hitman.
guy.
Yeah, the Hitman Hart was that guy. And you know what? That Montreal screw job, Vince McMahon was a genius for that.
Yeah.
He was a genius to do that. Because not only did he put Bret Hart over, he put Shawn Michaels over at the same time. And Shawn Michaels would become a big, huge megastar. So give Vince McMahon a lot of credit for that Montreal screw job. That was brilliant. It seemed like it was foul at the time, but if you look at it, hindsight being 2020, it was one of the smartest things Vince McMahon ever did.
Everybody talked about it for 6 months.
Yeah, like it made and both their careers flourished tremendously after that. Both of them, Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels.
Yeah. Are you gonna do another stream? Are you gonna come back?
Yeah, I'm gonna come back in maybe like an hour. I gotta feed my kid and that kind of stuff. The daddy thing.
No, for sure. I'll probably try and jump back up and debate some sports because I can't believe Skywalker said LeBron was the GOAT. I'm not letting him get away
Oh
with that.
yeah,
I was
no.
hoping
With
to stay though.
that
That ain't
that
gonna happen.
conversation, I'm gonna have. That's part of my GOAT series. My GOAT series that I'm gonna start over the weekend. I'm gonna do basketball first, football second,
Mhm.
baseball third, and then soccer last. And
Okay.
we're gonna have that whole debate about who's the GOAT. We're
I
not
got
gonna
Scottie
have that
Pippen in front of
conversation
LeBron.
today.
Shit. Scotty's in
But
front of LeBron. Let's be
uh-oh.
real. Let's be
We're
real.
gonna save that. We're gonna say I want to save that conversation for tomorrow. I don't want to get into that today. I
Skywalker, you
might
my
do the
guy,
Hulk
but you
Hogan.
wrong about this one, dog. You wrong about this one.
I might just do the Hulk Hogan thing today because that's a big, huge thing. That
Yeah.
struck me like deep. Like that
That
kind of
was our
like struck
childhood.
me.
See, I was born in early 80s. So for me, that was my childhood, dog. Like Hogan,
Right.
Warrior, you know what I mean?
Well, for me, I'm a little older than you. I was born in the 70s. I grew up in the 80s. So like
Yeah.
I was like 10, 11 years old when I first was exposed to Hulk Hogan. So like I grew up on Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair. Like
Yeah.
that's the foundation of what modern wrestling is today. Hulk Hogan and Ric
100%.
Flair.
Without them guys, none of these guys would be drawing a
Yeah,
dime right
none of
now.
these guys, the Rock, it means nothing. No Stone Cold, no Rock,
No nothing.
no Roman, no nothing. You don't have none of this what you have today without Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair. I completely agree with that 100%. Well, guys, this has been really fun. Thank you, Timothy, for coming on my panel. I
All
appreciate
right,
that.
man. We'll see you in a bit.
For everybody who came in, thank you so much. From the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate all the support. Um, Give me like an hour. I got to do the daddy thing real quick, but give me like an hour. I come back. Make me a good thumbnail about Hulk Hogan because I want to talk about that. Like that's like wow. I'm still like trying to wrap my brain around that. So I'm gonna get off here. Thank you again, all y'all for coming, and I'm gonna holler at y'all in a little while. All right, deuces.